Because it's fun, Max.
That's okay. I'm gonna go with
That sounds normal.
I did it.
That sounds normal.
I did the IT catch-all.
Turn it off. Turn it back on.
I unplugged it and plugged it back in.
Okay, cool. So,
Woo!
we've got it working.
Alright.
Thank you, Tech Man. Would you mind turning off the light in the Sean room?
In the Sean room.
Go get yourself some food.
Give me my window. There we go.
Okay, so,
Yeah, that would probably tasted real gross.
Did he just lick Jake?
Jake
Yeah, he
is
did.
not a good tasting human.
Wait, what were the things we were doing with the traits that we could do thing?
An ability?
So you still have dark vision, you still sleep like an owl.
Oh, yeah.
And I still have the Fey's history.
yeah.
I don't have keen senses, do I?
What's keen senses?
You have proficiency in the perception skill.
Yes.
I do have that? Okay.
Yeah. But your proficiency bonus is +1.
Yeah.
So.
That just evens out the thing. Which I'm fine with.
What is our saving throw that we are proficient in, or are we proficient in none? The saving throws.
You're proficient in none.
Okay.
Are you proficient in lying?
I
We're
am proficient
kids.
in lying. That is, I took deception because that's like my character's whole thing.
One skill that you are proficient in. Choose wisely.
Yeah, I
I
took
was saying, we're
deception
kids.
because
We can be good at that, right?
that's what my character's all about.
I might have taken slightly.
What's your character all about?
Pretending that she's tougher than she is to try to impress the human friend.
Pulling her best friend into dangerous situations.
Yeah, making Pip mad.
Just conveniently having things that he may or may not have had a minute prior.
That's exciting.
Okay.
You don't know what he
I
had.
don't think that there's anything else for Dragonborn besides the aspect resistance, and that's it.
You guys have the book.
I think that
You were looking at the book a second ago.
I was.
Woman.
Do I still get natural illusion just speak with beasts?
Yes.
Oh, that's fun.
I don't, however, get the extra language that I would know. Oh, because
I
that's
assume I
in
still know Gnomish and Common.
India.
Yeah. You get the languages that you're given. It's assumed that you're raised kind of with both.
Ooh, fire starter. Maybe I should do that.
Wow.
Nah.
Okay.
First much?
Oh, and I'm 2.
And you're what? You're 2?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because Dragonborn age differently.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so first off, for the since we are actually streaming about 20 minutes late, and also Rose already got a clip of you licking me.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Thanks, Rose.
Thank you. So, welcome back to Tales from the Tavern. Today we're going to do something a little bit different because while Andrew has been here doing technical things, he works in 40 minutes. So we have 2 people you're used to seeing and 2 newcomers, of which hopefully we will get actually on the normal campaign that we're doing.
If we don't hate Max by the end of this.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, this,
Like,
this
how
is your,
can you hate
this? Is your
this?
test, Max.
He's wearing 2 pairs of sunglasses.
Well, he's wearing 2 pairs of sunglasses and 2 hats.
No, the top pair of sunglasses is for that bird.
Yeah,
Yeah, where you been?
That's great.
We've been pointing
Okay.
this out.
So tonight we are playing a one-shot. And this one-shot is special. Because they're not playing normal characters. They're all playing children. So how about, first off, we introduce our 2 newcomers.
Okay.
You may have
I'm
met
getting
Katie
the-
before.
Hey.
Katie, who are you playing tonight?
Tonight I am playing Yara, or as you will be hearing her as Pip. I am a halfling and the best friend of the Dragonborn at the end.
That thing.
So, let's go to our other newcomer, Max!
Hello.
Why don't you go ahead and describe your character to us?
I will be playing Tukum Lilebright. He is a gnome. His parents are kind of shady, and he had a lot of freedom due to the kind of parents not really paying attention. He likes to explore, he likes to do things, but he's also scared of a lot of things. So you can expect him to kind of like react in a weird way. That is true.
Okay.
How do I plug an Ethernet cable in here?
Bless you.
Thank you. Your guess is as good as mine. I've never used an Ethernet cable on my laptop.
Oh, and actually, I just realized something. We are actually changing how we're doing Cheers tonight because of the way that this stream is going to go. For now, I have disabled cheer rewards, except for the doodle.
So you can't donate to give one of the kids a magic weapon?
No. I'm doing that on purpose because this is a one-shot, and I haven't quite figured out a good set of rewards for one-shots. Because most of the rewards are either they are very temporary or they last for a campaign. And I can't really do that with a one-shot. So, however, let's move on. Mint, what is your character's name?
Newbie.
Huh?
Newbie.
Newbie. No, it's not. It's Tanithal Heron. He's
Bless you.
What did you say?
We said bless you. It's Newbie.
No, the name.
See, this is the reason he doesn't really talk much. He
Is it
does.
because of that, or because you never play characters that talk much?
Hey, peanut gallery. Quit delaying. We're already behind.
I'm just gonna sit here and.
We can stay up late though if we really
We're
need
playing
to.
kid. What do you expect?
He is the one that. He's more or less a hoarding son of a bitch. The son of a bitch part doesn't apply, but he hoards things. He's generally these people.
He's
need.
a follower, is what we call those
If
kids.
these people need something, he's either probably got it in his pocket or he can possibly maybe find it. Not that anyone will know he found it. He just has it.
And all of our characters have been friends.
Yes.
Yes, all of them know each other from the beginning. That makes it so the tavern scene of a bunch of children meeting isn't one, underage drinking, and two, we just skip
Where's
that
my milk?
Oh
part. I demand milk!
Just put it on the playground, we'll be fine.
Oh,
Can
and by the
that
way,
be Tuki's parents? Can they
Tuki?
own a bar and then we just show up and we're like, milk please?
Is that the whispering trail?
Might be the whispering trill.
we'll work on that. It probably won't come up too much.
Why
So-
can't I see yes doing that?
Okay, and then finally,
Oh
Baby.
yeah, I should introduce my character. I will be playing Aritza Dualtis. She's
Bless you.
her kind of nickname is Teak, given to her by Pip, and she is definitely the friend that is going to like talk smack with nothing to back her up, and is gonna like pressure people into dangerous situations, but then be the first one to nope out.
Our friendship started because of our size difference as a dragonborn and a halfling, and my parents are both healers, and so I want to grow up and be a healer. So every time Teeks would go and do something and get scrapes or whatever, I'd fix her up.
And Teeks wants to prove that Dragonborn are tough, and that she's tough like other Dragonborn, and that she's not scared of nobody or no things.
Okay.
But I am.
But she is scared of everybody and most things.
Okay. So Max, unfortunately, because you are not actually physically here with us, I can't actually hand you one of these. But what I've been doing is at the beginning of every session, everyone gets a inspiration die.
Woo!
Mine will be this one.
Okay.
Okay. Awesome.
Oh god, but it's U of M
Thank you.
colors.
Thank you.
The good colors.
I thought it was black and gold.
No, it's blue and gold.
Okay. So let
I
me
may or may
actually
not be
pull
colorblind,
up
apparently.
my notes for this. So most of this I actually wrote today.
Okay. Well, that's kind of how one shots go.
Yeah. So today we will be playing a one-shot called The Spooky House.
Is this our late Halloween episode?
You know what? Yeah, actually, that's probably a good thing to say.
Okay.
Also,
This
as
is
a
Rivertan.
reminder, we actually at this time only have one person that will be moderating the chat. And I think right now that is Bailey, that is you. That is Verbane, for everyone wondering. That is to keep us mostly removed from the chat and less distracted to just kind of keep the flow of things.
Don't judge me. I can play with the cards if I want to.
Okay. Also,
You.
stop distracting us.
You weren't talking at him at the moment. I gotta shower anyways.
No, you're right. I was talking to the group as a collective. Okay, so
Can we just get in trouble?
Yeah.
Yes.
okay, so let me read this little bit first. Our story tonight takes place in the north of the country of Ethereum, in the mining town of Rivertan. It is located at the base of the Sundering Mountains, and is located on the Pandorum River, which flows from the mountains to the north. While the river supplies fresh water to the town, it also brings danger in the form of water elementals. The city guard are equipped to handle it, but the citizens are advised, stay away from the river. The city is home to one of the largest coal mines on the continent, making the town much more for laborers and their families than a merchant city. It is nearing the afternoon and the sun is low in the sky. You all find yourselves in the market, adults making last-minute purchases for that night's supper. What are you guys doing in the market district today? What shenanigans are you getting yourselves into?
What shenanigans have you gotten me into?
Well, that's a good question actually for me for the DM. Do we usually have our shenanigans at night, or will we be wrapping up our shenanigans for the day right now?
I would say this is. You're probably more likely to start wrapping them up, but you're probably not completely done. It's like, man,
It's almost dinner.
we gotta get this last thing in before supper, or parents are gonna be pissed, that kind of thing.
Okay. So I'm sure that there is a fairly regular run then to see how close we can get to the river before the city guards see us, to practice our stealth.
Okay. Well, so more specifically, what would you be doing? Like, what are you doing in the market district?
Oh, at the market?
Yes. Don't worry, that'll come up in a bit.
How hooligan? Let me...
I'm stealing bread.
You're stealing bread?
Oh yeah, I do it every day. Mom never feeds me; she's too busy sewing.
I'm going over our booty for the day, which might have involved picking up loose change that people might have dropped, or like if a merchant dropped beads or whatever.
Okay. You managed to get a few knickknacks. You managed to score a die.
Ooh.
But out of all like the change you managed to pick up off the ground, mostly in copper pieces, you managed to get about 2 silver.
Nice. Alright.
So, alright, so we kind of split it up.
Woohoo.
Cool.
So we've got like, what, 4 copper pieces each?
Yeah.
And what would Newbie be doing?
I mean, probably being ignored.
Well, you're being handed some silver, or some copper pieces.
Just-
What did newbie score?
Yeah, because he's the pickpocket.
No,
You're
I
the
don't
quiet
pick
one.
anyone's pockets. I'm just quietly minding my own business, and if I find something that they weren't looking after appropriately, that's their fault. Because I like shiny things, and if they don't pay attention to it, it's my shiny thing.
Go ahead and roll perception for me. First roll of the night, I guess.
Roll perception.
Oh, I am very perceptive. That's
That's a 2.
that's a 4.
You stare at your feet most of the day. Your sandals or your leather shoe or your like cheap leather shoes are really interesting. You see a bug crawling up it, and just, oh, that's really cool. Oh, hey.
What about you, newbie? What did you get?
Pick up the bug.
I'm naming him Frank.
He's already a druid.
Just pick up the bug and like wipe it off on her.
Okay.
What about you, Tukey?
So you were stealing bread? Go ahead and give me a stealth roll, Max.
Oh, wait. Yeah, there it is. No, that's inspiration dice. Not this one. This one. Stealth?
Yep, give me a stealth.
If I told you I rolled a 0, would you believe me?
Yes, because I had you all start out with base scores of 8.
So 0.
So, Max, you're a what nickname did you guys give Max's character?
Tukey.
Tuki. So, Tuki's approach to stealing bread today was not sneaking up behind the baker and kind of like slowly sliding it off the table. No, what Tuki did, he climbed up someone, leaped off of it onto the table, scattered the bread everywhere, grabbed a piece, and just booked it.
Keep in mind, while it was scattering everywhere, Tuki was like chomping in the air, trying to like get crumbs, like they ricocheted around him. So he was like a dog trying to catch a ball.
While your stealth roll may have been absolutely borked, you are a small gnome child. You disappeared into the crowd of legs.
With bread.
With bread.
Can I have swiped butter?
High or low?
Low.
Unfortunately, the butter was on another table.
Damn it. It's usually not on that table.
Dry bread for you.
So yeah, you guys see Tuki probably run up with bread after a commotion in the distance.
I just like run up to you guys and I'm just like holding it. But I just take a bite right out of the middle of it. But I just kind of like hold it out to anybody who's standing there.
Teeks definitely tears off a bit and hands him his portion of the copper.
So you hit it with like 1 copper piece?
It's like 4 copper pieces. You're rich now.
You should, but it was like 2
Oh
silver
yeah,
pieces.
I look.
Yeah, but it's 10 copper to a silver.
Yeah.
There's 4 of us.
Yeah,
We get
5.
Oh.
I was wondering if that was a deliberate
Was
thing.
Tim with us?
Well,
No,
I mean,
Tim is
doesn't
not-
matter.
Tim
Then it is 5. I thought that the NPC that
No, Tim is not.
we're
currently
friends with was around.
I
No.
forgot about
He had the
Tim.
flu.
However,
I didn't forget about Tim.
Speaking of
I
Tim,
forgot about Tim.
from across the courtyard, you see Tim. He is waving over to you. Or he's waving you over to him. Timothy is always known as one of those troublemaking kids. He has problems listening to authority figures. He is like the core rebel. He doesn't even listen to his
Is
parents.
he also the mayor's son?
Ooh, he drives a 72 Firebird. Oops, sorry, I thought I was muted.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, you guys see Tim from the other side of the courtyard kind of like waving you down, just kind of trying to get your attention.
I have a feeling that I do not like Tim because I feel like I would be the authority figure of the friend group, or at least it would end up that way.
You try.
I try.
I keep forgetting we put this table underneath.
I know it's wonderful.
Yeah, we've got leg rests and shit.
We can see everything
So-
next season as sunglasses, by the way.
We see Tim, and I'm like, oh, it's Tim.
And Teeks, on the other hand, is like, oh yes, this has gotta be good. So she like hurries over there and like just puts the whole piece of bread in her mouth as she's like trotting over there.
Brett just like looks at one of you leaving, other one's leaving.
Like the emo kid of the group.
Yeah.
The
I'm just eating bread, so I'm like, and it's like shoving food in my mouth.
You're just absentmindedly following us while you're eating.
Yep, I'm always the last one. I might even be behind, like, Nid's character. Like, that's how slow I am to react.
Okay.
Okay. So you guys get over to Timothy saying, "Oh, guys, this is awesome. I found something you guys are not gonna believe."
Oh, I bet.
What? Just Katie's reaction.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
But yeah, we gotta ditch this place to go see it.
Well, what is it?
Oh no.
Oh, come on, I can't ruin the surprise. We just gotta go
yes,
see
you
it.
can.
Well, is it cool?
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
And Teeks would like kind of draw her sword, and she'd be like, "Is it gonna be an adventure?"
Please don't be
Isn't
an
it
adventure.
always?
Please don't be. No. And
I'm
she's
the
like,
piglet
"All
of the
right,
group."
I'm in."
I'm the piglet. Oh, dearie dear.
Does that make me Eeyore?
Yes.
Oh father. And Max is the
Has
angry
this guy
bird.
done this before?
Huh?
Like, has this guy said this before? Like, hey, I have a thing to go do.
Probably.
He's kind of the guy that kind of like takes you like. He's the one who kind of kickstarts a bunch of the adventures because he does shit that most people or most kids don't want to do.
So I just, like, I look at him, I look at you guys, I look at him, I look at you guys. I shrug and sit down and eat my bread.
Okay.
He's being more neutral than I am. I'm just like,
Challenge accepted.
Oh no. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we gonna ditch this place and go on an adventure.
how well did our last adventure end?
High low.
Yeah.
High or low?
Hi.
Not quite what you expected.
Oh no.
Um.
So my character is definitely like, I do not want to go on another goddamn adventure.
I'll let you guys kind of flesh out the details of what happened last time.
All right.
I'm gonna let them do that because Teeks is probably like fine with it.
Yeah. No, it's probably just like we went somewhere, things started collapsing, someone got hurt, someone's
was a
parents had to
dog.
be called.
Someone definitely got grounded.
Yeah, someone got grounded.
It was not me.
It was
My
me.
parents don't even know I left.
Pip was grounded.
Just imagine, like, your parents getting a call. It's like, what? What do you mean he's gone? He doesn't have friends.
I'm just like, am I gonna have teeth bugs again?
Oh. So yeah, Pip doesn't want to go, but because her best friend is a jerk, she has to go. Because someone's gotta watch out for her.
Are you making like any audible objections?
Oh, I was making the audible objections while Tim was
Like I mean, like in
explaining.
character.
In character.
It was the same thing she was
okay.
saying.
It was
Okay.
what I was like
I was just
saying,
making
like,
sure.
oh no, not another adventure. Like, she's not confrontational.
Mm-hmm.
But she's also about a whole
I'm
foot and
about-
a half tall.
Yeah. I'm like a foot and a half tall, and I'm quietly outspoken.
Are
Okay.
you a halfling or a half elf?
I'm a halfling.
Okay.
Yeah, what are your races again? Sorry.
I'm a halfling.
You're a gnome.
You're a gnome.
Am I?
Yeah.
Nomeo.
I'm gonna give you one whole guess as to what race Nind is.
420 blaze it.
Elf Ranger.
We don't even have classes.
Yes. And I'm playing a dragonborn.
He's a 420 elf.
I'm a high elf.
So yeah,
Okay.
if there's no real objections, Timothy's gonna turn and he's gonna start escorting you guys out of the market district to the east of in the city, closer to the region of town where the river lies. Most of the buildings nearing the river are abandoned, with some thugs making it their home. But the further you follow, the closer you guys are getting to the river.
On our walk, I pick up a good sturdy stick.
Okay. Anything else?
I eat my bread.
Teeks is gonna look and see if she can spot any water elementals in the distance or anything like that.
Yeah, you're not quite there yet. You know the district, but it's not really visible from where you are. There's definitely a lot of, I'd say tall buildings, but really any buildings to you guys are tall.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Just sort of picking up rocks, and if I don't like them, I'm throwing them, and if I do, I'm keeping them for now. Probably throw them later, but I'm keeping them for now.
Okay.
Especially if there are any, like,
So you guys,
interesting looking rocks.
so you guys keep going. And finally, Timothy stops outside of an abandoned home. The windows have been shattered and boarded up, and it looks like it has been uninhabited for decades. Worst of it all, it's only blocks from the river.
Okay, so this isn't the one from Heirloom of Darkness.
No. While I know it says the spooky house, I didn't put the spooky mansion.
There's a different spooky house in Rivertan I don't like.
Yes. No bueno.
So Timothy kind of like opens his arms out and is just like, well, here we are.
And
did you
here
turn
we
into
go, back home where it's safe.
Oh, what? You don't want to go inside?
Why are you Rookie?
Oh, goddamn.
You just turned into
I
Rookie.
did just turn into
I mean, it fits Rookie, doesn't it?
Well, here we are. We gonna go inside or what?
Or what?
Or what?
And Teeks kind of goes, oh, come on, Pip. It's not going to be that bad.
What are you? Chicken?
Yes.
Oh, come on.
Ooh, spooky house.
Let's go inside and look around. Besides, there's something inside I want to show you.
There's something at my parents' house that I want to show you. It's safe.
Oh, come on, Pip. Don't be such a downer.
I'm not sure
It's
I'm
our
allowed at
house.
your parents' house anymore.
Okay. Teeks is gonna, to prove that Dragonborn aren't afraid of anything, while Tim and Pip are kind of bickering back and forth, she's gonna kind of take a deep breath because she's actually really scared.
And I hear it, and I'm like,
But she's trying not to let anybody see, and she marches up to the house.
I'm just watching in horror, like, I heard the breath, I know what that means.
And she doesn't knock, she just busts the door open the best that a kid can.
Okay.
Headbutts it.
Roll me an athletics check.
Oh boy.
Bounces
So that's
off the wall.
minus 1. How's a 4 do?
So you're just kind of like pushing the door open best you can. Like, you walk up. Yeah, I'm a big bad dragonborn.
Like,
you can't.
she grabbed the handle and...
You grab the handle and you kind of go to push it and it doesn't budge because you just realized you have to pull
It's a
it.
pull.
She kind of glances over her shoulder to see if anybody saw and flings it open.
She notices that everyone saw.
Timothy's over there just kind of.
And I'm like, don't do it.
So you fling the door open
Oh, she did it.
and are you waltzing inside?
How dark is it?
It's pretty dark in there.
Is it so dark I can't see?
Like you can kind of start to see a bit of the inside, but it's like the difference in like the lighting and stuff kind of makes it harder to really get your bearings on it.
So to buy herself a little bit of time, she would turn back and go, well, are you guys coming or not?
Then
Timothy's
you look
waltzing
down,
up.
I'm standing right there.
You're already standing right next to her.
I'm like peering around her, just kind of like, what's in there?
Fair enough.
He was secretly on my ankle the whole time.
And Timothy's just waltzing up and just walks straight through the front door.
Kitty.
Oh.
And Pip is just gonna cross her arms and just kind of like shuffle behind all of them.
Okay.
I need to see this real quick.
So as you guys kind of like get inside, you notice that The inside of this abandoned house is covered in cobwebs and just years of dust. The furniture is tossed and turned. Some of it isn't even in one piece. The place smells of mold and just even more dust. The entire house kind of like creaks under its own weight, and like even you can hear like the breeze even just kind of like pushing it and creaking. It doesn't really sound that stable, but you immediately get a sense that while this house may be abandoned, it almost seems like it's alive just from the sounds.
I think that's its uvula. I didn't know it was a girl house.
From where you guys are, you can see that there's a set of stairs that lead up. There's a few other doors just in this immediate room, and an open door that seems to lead straight into the basement.
Nope, 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 nope. Yes.
And Teeks kind of takes her sword out again and she starts poking around at things.
Yeah, you kind of like poke at like some of the furniture, and like a rat kind of like scurries out suddenly.
She kind of jumps back, but like tries to play it off like she was taking a swing at the rat.
You were saying something, Max?
Oh, can I try to catch the rat?
Absolutely. How are you trying to go about it? Are you like trying to surprise it?
Right on her like ankle there.
So you're right on her ankle?
Like, it shoots out, I like leap forward, try and catch it. I can see in the dark, so.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just kind of like, ah. I leap at it.
Go ahead and roll athletics, I guess.
Not intelligent.
It's not
18.
18.
Actually, I rolled a 20.
You absolutely catch this rat.
I'm just kind of like holding it, and I turn around and I look at you, and I'm just like, oh, it's just a little rat.
It's sitting there squirming and squealing.
I stuff it in my pack.
Oh, the poor thing.
Was there, while everyone's occupied with that, is there anything that looks interesting for a kid that I might just be like
In the pocket it goes.
able to acquire?
Like what kind of things are you talking about?
Is there like a pretty pattern on some cloth? Is there...
Shiny bauble, weird shaped metal thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some oddly shaped metal object that's just kind of sitting in the corner, caked in dust. You're not entirely sure what it is, but it's shiny.
I'm just gonna go over to it and like acquire it.
It's not
Okay.
taking, it's acquiring.
Okay.
It's like, you know, like kind of brush it off a little bit, see if there's anything else. Kind of mine.
So, Tim's kind of like, well, what do you guys think of this place? Pretty spooky, right?
It's spooky, alright.
Well, what did you want to show us? It's got to be better than some rat.
Oh, yeah. It's really cool. Come with me.
It's like only two of us can see in the dark. If you're getting that, the rest of you are blind.
And he kind of like leads you guys into the kitchen area.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like at one point it was a working kitchen, but like there's pots stacked up, they're caked in dust and cobwebs, and you can probably smell. It definitely smells more of mold and like something, yeah, grimy and rotten in here. But he goes over to the pantry area, which is closer to like the back of this building. He kind of opens up the door. He's like, "It's in here."
God, having flashbacks to
I know.
darkness.
Eyes everywhere, oh god.
Well,
Alright,
so-
Mr. Magician, what are you showing us here?
So you guys are
Is it-
actually going in. Are you guys going into the pantry?
Oh, Teeks is absolutely gonna go.
Can I already see what's in there?
Yeah.
What he's referring to, you can't see from the outside.
Is it like too dark in there to see?
No, it's just the angle. You see a bunch of shelves, but you see that there's an area that's like kind of like, just from your perspective of the inside of this pantry, there's one wall that's kind of obscured.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, she'll go. Dragonborn are tougher than humans.
okay. So, you go inside, and this portion where there was like a shelving area, it looks like it's just been kind of like crumbled away, and there's just this hole. And the hole before you looks like it's just large enough for you to crawl into. And cobways fill it. And you can't really see past it. It's just blocking your view, and from where you stand, if you're standing kind of in front of it, you almost feel like a cool breeze kind of flowing out of it.
Cat. No, bring it back. Bring it back.
Also, I keep hearing like a beep.
Discord beep?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That
was
was me.
sending Max a reminder real quick.
Okay.
You're also going to hear it from my headset, because my headset has sound coming through it.
Which means it's going to come up on the stream.
No, it's not, because the stream's pulling from Scarlet.
Okay.
It was a one-time thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Giving him a name cheat sheet.
Sorry, my cat was taking out my mic, keyboard, and everything. I missed some of that.
Those
That's fair.
small rocks I was picking up before, I'm going to take the least interesting of them. And I'm just going to sort of like flick it down the hole.
Okay. You kind of like, you go tink, 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 and then just kind of like, it sounds like it actually hits the ground beyond and it just kind of stops, but it doesn't really like reveal anything more.
As long as it's not wet.
Isn't it cool? Hey,
Basically, there's a secret passage in the pantry, Max.
isn't this thing cool?
Well, where does it go?
I don't know. I wasn't gonna go in it yet.
Well, why not?
Hi, Andrew.
I wanted to wait till you guys were here.
And
Okay.
So it's actually about this time that from outside the pantry, you guys hear like the sloshing of water.
Okay, so this pantry is big enough that all of us are in it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Well,
two of you were.
That is true. Two of us are like a foot tall.
Yeah. So, from outside the pantry, kind of like probably in the main area where you guys came from, you all hear like a large volume of sloshing water just kind of make its way into that area.
now, as residents of Rivertan, we know what that is, right?
Oh yeah, it's probably a water elemental.
Who's closest to the door?
Probably at this point, Tim is.
And Teeks would be like, close the door.
Kind of grabs the door and closes it shut. Just like, okay, so we're gonna have to get out of here now. I wasn't expecting this.
I knew this would be bad. I didn't want to be here.
Well, hey, I mean, the hole looks like it probably just leads right outside. So we could probably just sneak out the back and...
Yeah, it probably goes like to the basement or something. We can just...
I vote
There's
Tim
a
goes
difference
first.
between basements and outside.
But there was already the basement by the door, remember? And she'd be kind of whispering.
Well, I can hold the door shut. I'll be right behind you guys.
This is where he dies.
This is where Pip hopes he dies.
I'll go first. And she's gonna try to, as she's going down, because I'm guessing as she goes down it's gonna get darker.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna try to use her breath to kind of spark a light.
Okay. So you're going straight down.
Mm-hmm.
Is anyone following
I will
immediately?
follow right behind her.
I'm smart. I threw the rock down.
On the way down, she like
I'm
if there's a
gonna listen for the
can or
same
something,
sound.
she'd grab it so that she can throw it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
going to listen for the sound of this one hitting the ground and this one hitting that one. And then I'm gonna go down.
Okay, yeah. You definitely hear them sliding down and just... So Max, you following?
I was gonna ask my rat what could be down there. Or what other things are in this place.
The rat has no idea, but it does seem kind of terrified of the sloshing noise.
Okay.
So, anywhere but here.
So I stuff the rat back in my pack and tie it shut. But I don't say anything and I follow the puppy.
Okay.
Why do I get the feeling he's gonna throw that rat at something?
Shh.
Who knows?
Scapegoat it.
Okay.
It's a D4 plus slashing damage.
Plus nibbling damage.
Gosh darn it.
Okay. So, you slide, and yes, what it does seem is that you end up in the basement. There's not really a whole lot in the basement. It's really dark in here. But what you end up... And everyone just kind of like slides after you, and then right after Max gets... Or right after Tuki gets there, Tim slides down after. Okay.
Oh, he didn't die.
Okay. We should be able to sneak around and just go out the front door.
Can you even see?
Do we have anything to light a fire with?
He's got rocks.
I've got a stick and she can spark.
Yep. Makeshift torch.
Alright. Spark my stick.
Just gonna cough on it a few times, and then eventually like it starts to glow just a little bit. It's not like a huge fire, but it's
It'll
something.
work.
Glowing coals.
And it's only like a foot long stick because I'm only like a foot tall. So.
Okay. So you guys are in the basement, and this glow, it kind of like it can help you navigate a little bit.
Okay.
What about her and I? Do we see anything beyond the vision of these things?
Yes.
You do manage to see the room itself. It's actually fairly bland. It's a stone and dirt floor, and like stone foundation walls. And then you see a staircase on the other side of where you guys are.
Same question as before. Trinkets or baubles?
Rocks.
Are there any interesting rocks?
High or low?
Hi.
There's a really funny shaped one. Kind of looks like a rabbit's head.
I'll take it. Take this rabbit head.
Yeah. So, I'm guessing you guys want to navigate out of the basement.
Yes, please.
So, you guys managed to make it up the stairs. But there's something wrong. You don't hear sloshing water anymore. Tim kind
I
of...
don't see that as a problem.
Yeah, I don't.
Tim kind of looks around. Huh.
Left.
Right down the chute behind us.
I mean, let's
Let's get out of here.
yeah, okay, fine. Chicken.
Yep.
So Tim kind of goes up, opens the front door,
Baptized.
leads outside. So, as you guys get outside, something's wrong. The air is not fresh, as you would expect, and is much colder than you recalled. Looking around,
Oh my god, did you send us to Silent Hill?
no, looking around, all the colors of the buildings and just the surrounding area, it's all incredibly muted and dull.
Time travel to the basement. We're now in the future where the orcs have fully invaded everything.
Looking to the sky, it is very heavily overcast. It was pretty much a clear day when you guys went down there.
Okay.
And but it's gray, but it's not so dark that you can't see. But it's like that point where it's like it's starting to get really dark.
Twilight.
This is Rain Narnia.
But what you one of the things that is definitely catching your attention. It's raining kind of like an ash-like substance.
You sent us to Silent Hill.
I talked to the rat again.
Rat has no fucking clue what's going on.
Tim, what did you do?
Don't look at me.
I'm gonna look at you.
I don't know what's going on any more than you do.
Well,
I throw Jerry the pet rock at Tim. His hip.
What?
Like his hip. Like it's like bouncing off his like hip.
Okay. I guess roll a d20 and add your dexterity. I'll give you your proficiency bonus because kids are proficient with rocks.
Rolled a 5.
He's dead.
You missed. Just kind of
I
like.
immediately chased Jerry.
oh
Pick
yeah,
him
what?
up.
What is our AC?
What?
What's our AC?
Oh, your AC is calculated the same. 10 plus your dex mod.
9.
10.
Yeah, I know. Your stats are all shit.
We should have taken the commoner class.
I mean, it's only 2 lower than Damia's AC.
So, Damia is almost as easy to hit as it is to hit a child.
That's
Casters.
embarrassing.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you guys are in this dark, bleak, kind of like version of Rivertan, which is already pretty bad to begin with.
So what you're saying is...
Is this supposed to be a joke?
I think he's trying to do something.
No, just sort of pulling the hood up and just...
Oh, your character is?
looking small.
Whose
Have there
house
been
is
like
closer?
childhood stories that talk about like this kind of thing? Like, what, like I don't know, folk tales and things parents say to scare the kids?
There might be something that kind of comes to mind. There is sometimes stories that kids are told about, like, kind of like little gremlin things pulling you and taking you to, like, some nightmare world.
Isn't that what he
Like
is?
Silent Hill.
Hmm?
So,
Changelings.
upon remembering that, I look at Tim, and then I look at everybody else, and I go, I think he's a gremlin. He brought us here.
What? Guys, you've known me forever. I
I throw a rock at him again.
Whose house is closer?
I'm gonna leave that up to you guys.
Uh-huh.
Actually, you know what? Probably Tuki's house. Because his family, more than likely, because they're into some more shadier stuff, probably are actually located a bit closer to the river than...
Mine would probably be one of the farthest away, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, why don't we go to Tuki's house and we'll see if his parents will take anybody home.
Rookie Tookie?
I guess that makes sense. We'll see. I just hope it's... I hope it's not like this.
Well, we can sneak in the side door. My parents are probably working.
Sounds good. Okay, well, I guess let's get going.
Alright, let's go!
No, actually, I never recorded this. Also, I need a pencil.
No.
Pass me
Nope.
one of those.
DM should be
Maybe
prepared.
find an appropriate pencil.
They're all appropriate.
I am prepared!
That's the appropriate pencil.
Do you want me to roll a d100 and see how much damage you take?
One needs 5.
You can roll a d20 and kill him.
Roll a d6 and kill me.
Okay.
He's
What?
the DM, he could roll a D1 and kill you.
Yep. D1 plus 20.
Okay, so the other question, what is everyone's passive perceptions? It's going to be 10 plus your perception modifier.
It's an 8.
9.
Perception modifier?
Yeah,
Oh, I
it's
see what you're saying. Wisdom. Yeah. 9.
9.
so. Tuki's 9.
9?
Newbie's 9. What about
9.
So Teak has the worst.
Means if he spots something, she spots something, there's something wrong.
Fantastic. Okay.
So
So
whatever's trying to eat us is completely invisible to us, is what that means.
Sweet.
so you guys start heading to Tuki's house.
I would like to point out that Yaz is here, and it's probably going to scar her for life if we kill these children, because Yaz tends to adopt NPC children.
Don't worry, we're PC children, it's different.
Yes, I am sorry in advance if this turns out horribly. So.
It'll
Okay.
be fine.
Famous last words.
Is he wearing...
2 pairs of sunglasses and 2 hats? Yes.
I was wearing the sunglasses on his chin.
I have another one.
I mean,
Another hat or another pair of sunglasses? Oh.
Now we've got 3 hats.
look, now he's TF2.
Yeah.
And bird.
Okay. So you guys make it to Tuki's house. And
Is it actually Tuki's house?
it looks like Tuki's house. It looks pretty much the same as all of you remember it, except for it has that kind of very dull and muted look. One of the things that... How about all of you actually roll me a perception check for this?
God damn it.
Did anybody roll above 5?
Yeah.
No.
13.
Oh, you got a 1?
Wait.
Okay.
This is perception?
So, newbie. You guys all see the house just fine, but something seems off.
Is it a missing person's photo? No, poster with all of us on it?
No. No.
Twilight Zone.
What it is that, like... So the house next to Tuki's kind of has, like, kind of a stairway leading up to the front door. For a second you swear, like, the shadows underneath moved? It's kind of hard to tell, but, like, maybe just something out of the corner of your eye. Might just be an illusion. Who knows?
Where's my next least favorite rock?
You're gonna throw it?
Throwing my next least favorite rock at the thing.
Okay. Goes bouncing in. Nothing seems to happen. Okay.
That's kind of like a... I don't know.
Does newbie say anything to anybody, or?
Does he ever say
I
anything?
white from a rock.
I mean, he's always throwing
I mean,
rocks,
yeah, it's
so-
like the description of when he's walking to the house in the first place, and I should probably start when we're coming back from the house doing the same thing, picking up rocks, and don't like that one. Don't like that one.
Okay.
Don't like that one. So throwing rocks is kind of
Normal
normal.
thing.
Okay. One of the things that all of you do find strange along the way, you don't really see anybody.
It was night.
But even, like, you don't see some of the town drunks. There's nobody. It's silent.
Hill.
Silent Hill.
There's a hill in the middle.
Silent
Hill
Rivertan.
Okay. So, now that you guys are actually at the house and...
We find a road sign that says this is Tan River.
No.
Welcome to Tan
Okay.
River.
So you guys are outside of Tookie's house.
Okay.
So Tookie, it's your house. Give me kind of a better description of what it's like. I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah, I haven't really thought of that. So, okay, his house is small, but it's divided up into many rooms. So it's almost like a bunch of small... So it's like a rectangle shaped. The outside is all like, what is that stone called?
Cobble?
It's like more flat. Yeah, cobblestone, I guess, yeah. So the whole house is made out of that.
Okay.
There are very few windows, like maybe one on each wall.
Okay.
And they are generally sealed shut, like with like wooden like paneling that's pulled over on the inside.
Yeah.
There would be a fireplace probably right in the middle of the house that kind of like tries to heat up the whole house, like down all the hallways and everything, and all the rooms.
Fair enough.
And then I sleep in a pantry / closet / bedroom.
Okay.
Or
Hey, Harry Potter.
I'm very short. I'm very short, so like I only need like the bottom like foot.
That's true.
The bottom shelf.
Okay.
Yeah, so like all the food's like above.
Like, you're
Yeah,
not
like,
even a
writing
top shelf kid.
utensils.
Do you sleep there because you like the pantry, or because that's where your parents tell you to sleep?
No, I don't mind it.
Both.
Bottom shelf
Yeah.
alcohol over here.
I have a secret entry, like in my room in the back corner, and I sneak through the house.
That's how he leaves.
Okay.
Yeah, I fit in between like the stone and like the inner wood wall. Like I fit in between there, and I just.
Does he just like squeeze through this 1 foot gap and leave us bigger folks going,
Yeah,
Shouldn't
it's
be
my little
that big.
secret. You guys will probably know about this.
Yeah, you guys definitely would have seen this before.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My guess is like you'd probably like go in, like you'd sneak in there and then like open up a window or something for him to get in.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what I was doing. Absolutely.
Okay. So yeah,
That's what I would do.
so Tuki enters what he believes is his house. It looks exactly like it. In fact, Tuki, everything that you remember about your room is still there. Just as you left it literally today. But everything's still kind of gray and muted. And walking through, kind of like going to the window, you don't even hear your parents home.
This is concerning. I go to where my dad usually does all his like accounting work for whoever he does it for.
Okay.
But I kind of like creak the door open and look inside.
Okay. Inside, you see all of your dad's stuff. But the one thing that stands out is standing in the room, like kind of almost motionless, is a humanoid form. You might think that it's your dad, but he's not wearing the same clothes. His hair doesn't look quite right.
This is, not to derail you for a second, this is really similar to Stephen King's, like, explanation between fear and terror. Fear is having somebody with a knife chasing you. Terror is going into your home and realizing that everything has been replaced with an exact replica.
That's
Wow.
terrifying. So, I like, if I see the shadow or whatever this is,
Like,
can I actually see it?
yeah, you can.
Who is it? What is it?
You can actually see it, but it's like it's just kind of like
Does it look like a neighbor? You know,
like a what?
like my neighbor or something? Does it look
No,
like what I
no,
know?
like you swear that it's in your dad's office. Might be your dad, but he just doesn't look the same.
See what you're saying. I leave the door like open because I don't want to make a noise when I close it or whatever, and I kind of go over to where my mom usually is,
Mm-hmm.
and do the same thing. I look in there, and like her little stool where she sits for her sewing,
Yep.
like armor repair and all that.
So sitting on the stool is another figure that, again, you kind of get that same vibe, but like instead of your father, it's like your mother, but it's kind of like draped over her table, just kind of laying there. You know they're not dead because you see like the motions of breathing, but they're not active, or at least they don't seem to be active right now.
I say nothing again. I kind of shut the door a little bit, and then I go open up the window that I told them I would open. So I quietly like pull my little stool up and I climb up there and I just kind of push it open. And I lean out the window and like wait for them.
Okay.
I'm sure we've done this before. Teeks boosts Pip so that it's easier for her to get up.
Mm-hmm.
And like anybody else who needs a
We
boost.
just kind of,
Kind of help everyone into the house.
Yeah.
Okay, so you.
Because I'm getting the feeling Teeks is the biggest friend.
So yeah, you guys definitely make it into the house.
And I look at them and I'm like, well, my mom and dad are here, but it doesn't look like them. It's kind of weird. And I'm like holding my pet rock in my hand, just kind of like fiddling with it nervously.
Let me. I like the simultaneous roll. So Teeks kind of lowers her voice and she's like, what do you mean it doesn't look like them?
Well, and I hold my pet rock up, and it has like painting markings on it, and I'm going to use minor illusion and make it look like gray and dull and like almost like a zombie in a way. And I'm going to be like, kind of like that.
Well, that's not good.
Yeah.
Then I wave the minor illusion away and put it in my pocket. No, not good at all.
Should we
I'm
go?
kind of hungry.
Should we go to someone else's house then? I mean, if your parents aren't right, like, do we bother them?
Did you talk to them?
Oh no, I won't even talk to them when they're normal.
Oh.
I mean, they're nice, you know.
I'll go talk to them.
Can't be bothered.
I'll go talk to them.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Is your mom or dad nicer?
Dad is nicer.
Okay. So, I'll go. Can you show me where your dad is? And I'll.
Yeah, come on.
And she follows.
That breathing.
I get up to the door and I kind of like, in here, and I kind of like take one finger and I just kind of like push the door open until just enough to where you can see the shadow if he's still there.
Yeah, he's still
Of a
kind of
guy.
still just kind of standing there absently in the room.
And Teeks takes like another breath, and she realizes she doesn't actually know Tuki's family's name.
You're also taller than all of them.
Yeah. But like
Yep.
she realizes that she doesn't know, and she feels dumb asking, but she feels dumb with what she's about to say too, because she goes, Mr. Tuki's dad? Are you okay?
So the form that you see in front of you kind of like, for the first time, like, other than like just the motions that you expect out of like something that's alive and breathing, slowly just kind of turns around towards you.
So on a scale from 1 to 10, how unsettling is the movement? Like, how unnatural does it look?
It's like, it sort of looks natural, but it also looks kind of like, it's very kind of fluid and just kind of like creepily turning around.
So like a 6.
Yeah.
What to do when your dad turns into a water elemental?
And,
Step 1.
And it's not cool. He doesn't look like a water elemental, but definitely his facial features, are just kind of like that of absence. Just kind of like, and just kind of turns for you, and you just hear this.
Nope. Nope. I'm noping. I'm noping in real life.
And Teeks like takes a step back and like side eyes Tuki, and she's like, "Is that normal?"
Well, he normally talks a lot louder than that. But I just look at like the weird ghastly thing and I'm like, Dad?
it takes kind of like a limp step towards you.
Tuki, how do we get out of your house?
I use my minor illusion. How many times can I use this as like a racial trait?
Oh, the racial magic?
Yeah.
For Nind, I told him it doesn't manifest. It hasn't manifested yet.
Oh, I can't use it yet?
Not yet.
Oh, I thought you said we had that stuff.
There's a lot of the stuff you do have, but some of it is kind of limited.
It might make sense for Tuki to have it though, since he's going to be a wizard when he's older.
I guess that.
Because
I used it on the rock a minute ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll go with that then, since.
I mean, it's minor illusion.
Yeah.
I was gonna do something small, just make like a knock, like behind the thing, like loud enough for him to like try to get turn around so we can close the door and leave.
Okay.
So that's all I was gonna do with it. If anything works.
Okay. So everyone outside of the room.
Uh-huh.
Are you guys witnessing this from a distance, or are you?
Well, yeah, my best friend is in there.
Okay.
So she's unhappily
I'm
watching
unhappy with it, but...
Newbie, are you watching the scene as well? Or are you...
One second, I need to roll for...
Decision?
Basically, if I would be the kind of person to take from his house. Just like, collect fake things for my... Is that a... Yeah, that's a 6.
Newbie is a kleptomaniac.
Yes. Yes, he is. And that being said, he's going to actually just be sort of like in the room with the window that we came in from looking for trinkets.
So he didn't really move with the group?
Not really. This is kind of normal anyway.
Okay, you give me a perception check.
I find another parrock.
Don't you dare. I feel like I know you're like this too.
9.
9? Okay. Nothing out of
Nothing interesting. Not even like a chunk of bread.
Tuki ate it.
I hate that, man. It's gone.
You're not in the kitchen.
Yeah. What room are we actually in?
You're not in
We're
Tuki.
like in a hallway.
You're not in Tuki's bedroom.
Yeah. To the left is like my bedroom, and to the right is like a wall, and then you go all the way down, and I imagine it's like the main hallway.
Nothing interesting to this pocket?
I'm sure there's probably like a scrap of cloth just laying on the ground nearby.
Counting notes.
I'll just pocket the scrap of cloth.
I hope that you're adding this to your inventory.
The list of shit he's got?
Yeah.
I'm keeping that in mind. He's got scraps of cloth with interesting patterns and stuff. He's got a bunch of cool looking stones, a rabbit-headed stone.
Okay.
What about the weird metal thing?
So
And the weird metal thing.
So back to the room with Tuki's father. So you kind of use minor illusion to knock, but your dad doesn't seem to turn around to it. He just kind of takes another step closer to you.
No. Where's Tim?
Whatever that noise is, that needs to stop.
Tim's behind you guys, and he's just kind of like looking at this kind of wide-eyed.
Okay, so Tim looks freaked out? Okay.
A little bit, yeah.
Teeks just kind of quickly reaches and closes the door.
So was I disturbing you with that noise?
That's what I was going to tell you to do.
Okay, so
What's wrong with it?
So you guys close the door. How about all of you give me perception checks?
Does that include me?
No, not yet. You already did it.
That's a 10. 4. I need to stop using this dice. It's in jail.
You can throw it to the snake room.
What'd you get, Max?
6.
Wow, so none of you catch this, except for Tim. Tim's face goes
Yeah,
white.
10.
Damn it, Tim.
And, like, immediately, newbie, you can actually see Tim's face just go pale. Tim's not the kind of person to be like this.
You sure?
Yeah, no. Usually he's the one kind of charging ahead and just doing stupid shit.
Right, so pretend she's Tim.
Well,
You alright?
if he looks like he's staring like up in the corner of the room behind you.
You look like you've seen a ghost.
Anyone who is looking in the same direction.
So he probably would have actually turned to look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah, I
like
look, because...
So that's probably just me turning around and being like,
You see an unorthodox amount of shadow. And it's moving down.
aye?
Creeping slowly in.
okay, whose house is next closest?
Time to embrace the shadow.
Probably mine, actually.
I don't like it, I don't like it. And I run out of the house.
We are probably hot on your heels.
Yeah.
Embrace the darkness.
The other thing you guys are getting from these shadows, having noticed them a bit more, and that clearly they seem to have noticed you noticed them as well. There's now a bit of whispering coming out of them as well. It's unintelligible for you guys.
Oh, so it's just the nice.
Yeah.
How about no?
Nope.
And you guys run out of that house, I'm guessing.
We run out of Rivertan.
Because Tim started fucking booking it.
Yep. Nope.
I like uniformly around the table. Just, yep.
Out.
Okay.
Or where we need to leave Tan River.
You need to leave Tan River?
Yep.
The upside down.
Okay, so whose house is next closest? Probably one of ours.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we should go to any more houses.
I don't
Probably
know
all
either,
like
but maybe it's starting like up from outside.
He starts with the crappy houses.
They're all gray and scary.
What?
What are you rolling for?
That doesn't concern you.
I'm concerned.
You know what?
Um,
14.
Odds my house is closer, evens your house is closer.
I vote we put together
That's
a
a lot.
suicide pact and just
So
send it
my
here.
house is closer.
Guys, we should leave.
Okay,
We're
let's
leaving.
let's go see if my parents or my brother are home.
How do we... Oh, like... Is that gonna get us out of here?
I don't know if it's bad at my house. We can go to one of the temples.
I don't know when we suddenly got made out of answers, but it didn't happen just then.
What if we went back to the house? Maybe there's a way back. Something not right.
I don't want to go back into the house.
Well, you think you brought us here?
I didn't know we'd end up in a place like this.
Guys, he's the gremlin. He's the gremlin.
If this was any of my other characters, I'd be like, alright, murder him.
He's a gremlin? How do you kill a gremlin?
I'm guessing that from those stories, a gremlin wouldn't normally lead you back to the place that they dragged you across.
No, they steal you in the middle of the night and just take you there.
Oh,
I was close enough to know
He has
that.
a
He's a
monster
gremlin.
What'd you say, Max?
I said he hasn't left us back yet.
But you see, that's the story the gremlins want told, so that when something different happens, you never know what to do.
Yeah.
He's the gremlin. We should kill him.
There's gonna be a friggin' hepaphage.
So,
Oh, what's a hepaphage?
Don't worry about it.
so Pip, even though she hates everything, she knows everything right now is not okay, and that we probably do have to go back to the house. But did say something about a temple, and my parents are quite religious, so that could be a thing, or we could just go back to the house and try to go
Cheeks'
backwards.
plan is to see if her parents are bad too, and then if they're bad too, go to the temple.
How about you guys give me another perception check?
It's a 17.
11.
Oh, 18.
Okay, so
4.
Bailey, you said 18?
17. Max
17?
got 18.
17, 18, 11, and 4. Okay, so the two of you that got the higher numbers, you guys get a very quick glimpse of something that's kind of out of place here.
Is it a shadow?
No, it's only very brief, but you swear you see like white, and it's actually not dull, but it was moving. It moved behind a building across the street.
Did it look like a person or just like...
It did seem like it was more like a person, but not at all.
Did you see that?
The reason we've not been changed is because we're children and we're pure.
Yeah, I saw it and I'm running after it.
Oh God.
I rolled a 1 on my common sense.
Oh no.
And
No, leave it.
Cheeks is going, wait!
No, shh.
Wait. No, don't. No. Oh
She
gosh.
runs around the corner,
And
all
so-
we hear is...
I chase her.
I'm also chasing after her.
Okay.
'Cause that's
Tim-
what I am.
Tim's on your heels at this point as well.
Better stay with the group.
Yep.
Save two numbers.
So you round the corner and you see kind of like huddled and scared this little girl.
This is gonna be so bad.
I'm so not happy.
But
right
I rolled a
now.
1 on my common sense, so Cheeks.
And she's wearing kind of like a white, kind of like like I wouldn't say that it's completely like clean. It does look like she's gotten dirt on her. She out of this whole place. She does not seem like she belongs here.
Is she human, or can we not tell from here, or...
You can tell from here, but I need to actually figure out what it is. Well, because I didn't get this far. Again. I gotta find that chart of... I'm gonna roll a d6. It appears to be a half-elf girl.
Okay.
She looks about your age, if not maybe a little younger. And she looks terrified.
Teeks does not stop. She just goes up and she's like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "What's going on?"
Shadows.
Uh-huh.
Alright, and I've caught up, and I'm just like my motherly instincts kicked in, and I was like, "Are you hurt? Do you need something bandaged?"
She doesn't look like she's injured.
Okay.
But she is definitely terrified and looks like she has been running quite a bit.
Okay.
Is it possible to say I've got a piece of dried meat or
Gotta
fish
stop
or
it.
something in one of my pockets?
Yeah, absolutely. You
Like, take a chunk and just give it to her.
Your chair's making us crazy.
Yeah, so she kind of takes it. She nibbles on it, kind of reluctantly, but then seeing that you guys are acting kind of normal around her, she feels a little bit more confident and she eats it a little faster.
How long have you been here?
I don't remember. The days they don't. It doesn't change.
Have we seen her on a missing persons poster?
No, because
Do I know her?
No. Definitely some other girl. Probably she might have been from out of town. It's hard to tell. But first off, there usually aren't missing person posters.
Especially in Rivertan.
Especially on this continent, because it's actually fairly common for people to go missing.
Hi.
Well, more common than is entirely necessary.
Okay.
You're in the army now.
I asked her who her parents are.
I don't know. We were staying in the inn for the night, and then I just kind of woke up here.
And poke her.
How did you get here?
We went
We
through a
went
basement.
through a hole.
Alice in
We're
Wonderland.
from the town, but it's not like this.
I know.
I want to make sure she's real.
You poke her and she seems solid.
Okay, yeah.
And she kind of like flinches to you poking her. Tim is just kind of
Lost his leaderness.
Yeah, well, because what's going through his head right now is like, oh my god, I got us into this mess. I've never been this deep before. This is bad.
I'm in over my head.
I mean, yeah, you guys get in trouble with like the guards, and every now and then there's like a wild animal that might not be the nicest.
Mm-hmm.
But
or like a stray dog.
yeah, you guys usually come out okay. Maybe you get in trouble, but never this. This is
bad.
This is you went down shit creek without a fucking paddle or a canoe.
And around here, you don't want to be in the water. Like, to begin with. So...
Yeah.
Do you remember how you got here?
No, I just kind of woke up here.
Where were you sleeping last?
We were at a tavern in town.
Well, I think we should start there. I look at the rest of the group.
If it's further in the city.
Or we could split up.
And Teeks sort of raises an eyebrow, and she goes, "You and Pip are about 1 foot nothing."
Well, no one's gonna see me running around.
But if the place you guys came is closer, couldn't we just check that out first?
No.
Well, we were going to go to my house and see if we could find my parents, and if not, we were going to go to one of the temples.
No, don't look for people. They're not right. They're not right at all.
Well,
I mean, people can be wrong.
I think that answers our question on the whole adult thing. I think we're it. I think we're all we got.
Who's the eldest of us all then?
Why is it she like that?
It's probably because we're all just kids.
I'm not a kid, I'm a big boy.
What?
Fucking have a face.
You were just fucking paranoid.
You already killed one of my characters in Rivertan.
Correction, on the outskirts of Rivertan.
Close enough to Rivertan to be Rivertan.
From a job I got in Rivertan.
Okay. But you're the only normal people I've seen the whole time I'm here.
Think we're normal?
Teeks kind of does the big breath thing again.
And I just stare at her like, okay, bring it. What are we doing now?
She's like, okay, can you walk?
Yeah, I can do that. And she kind of picks herself up. By the way, I apologize to the audience if I am actually talking too quiet with that voice.
And she goes, okay, so if we shouldn't find people, and like she's at that point trying not to worry about her mom and dad, and she's like, so we can either go to the temples and see if there's anybody there that might be able to help us or something, or we can go back.
I don't know. As long as I'm with you guys, I feel safer.
Yeah, I trust this kid so much.
So, Pip.
What?
She's paranoid about everything I do.
Pip.
She's the heptaphage.
Pip actually does want to go back to the house. So that's what Pip is hoping for.
How far are we from, like, the market district?
My guess is that you might be, I'm gonna say like 12 blocks away. It was a little bit of a hike to get down to the river area.
Why don't we get some torches or something from over near the market district? I know they keep them in the streets and that sort of thing. And we can get there with some light.
I think that is a good idea.
Teeks kind of has to second guess herself if Pip's saying it's a good idea.
Like, I stare at you, and I was like, alright, let's go.
So
and
what's
you're
your-
like,
So what is Newbie's and Tookie's reaction to this?
For the plan?
To the whole scenario?
He's kind of indifferent. He doesn't really want to be here anymore.
He's freaked out about his parents.
He's kind of eating bread.
Okay.
eat so much bread.
Just kind of like following.
And Newbie?
Yeah.
You really are the following kid.
Yeah. Like a standard walking procedure. If there's something interesting, pick it up. If it's just a rock, pick it up and probably throw it off to a side.
So, as kids, do we have like a fun little fort hiding place somewhere?
I'm sure you guys would.
Yeah, it's called that old house with the basement.
I'd suggest we go to like our group hiding place where we like meet up and divide up things we stole and found and whatnot.
I'd say it's probably like not too far off the market district. Maybe it's in like a back alley, kind of like hidden behind.
It's
Just-
actually like the back of a butcher's shop that we found a hole in the wall or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, just something. It's hidden away for sure.
Let's go to the fort, guys.
Yeah. Great idea. We might be able to get some of the things that we've taken.
Yeah, I think our great sword's there.
We've
Nice
got
try, Max.
that +1 magic great axe from Baylor.
I think our boots of
Yep.
spider climber there.
Oh, a
Yep.
great axe. That's funny. Yeah, you could have that. I'm sorry. Oh wait, there's a property about a great axe. Two of you can't even hold it.
Whatever.
No, if they work together, they can.
Yeah. You gotta work as a team.
We're all gonna hold it.
See if we can find some ponies.
3 halflings in a trench coat. Which is funny, that actually came up in one of the games that I've played in. There was 3 halflings in a trench coat.
Fantastic.
Was that the game where somebody was like, okay, but where did I take damage? And then one of the halflings died.
No.
There was a game that I heard about where somebody had like
No, it's
2 or 3 halflings in a trench coat and they were like, okay, but where did I take damage? And they didn't tell their DM.
No.
They actually hadn't worked with their DM on this because they were 2 characters being one adventurer.
Yeah, no. These were a group of NPCs. This is the same game where the out of context D&D quote, "I'm wet and you're magic. I can do this all night." Okay. So yeah, sounds like you guys are gonna make your way to the hideout. So, yes. You're taking the girl with you.
No, we can't take the
Yeah.
uninitiated with us.
Yeah, she's gonna come with us.
Now we gotta put her
Sure.
through a hazing ritual.
She's gotta go steal something for us.
I mean, I don't know, but this entire scenario seems like a pretty good hazing ritual to me.
Yeah, if you're not part of the group after this, you aren't gonna be part of the group.
Yep. Can't sit with us.
You haven't been to Nightmare Land.
On Wednesdays we wear pink. It's October 3rd.
Okay. So yeah, you guys kind of make it through town. There's outside of the market district. You still don't see people. But as you get closer to the market district, there's sort of like these husks of people. Some of them are like standing in like the stall area, but they're not really going anywhere. There's a few like sitting by the fountain in the middle of the square. But for the most part, you guys, I'm guessing like immediately you are avoiding kind of being out in the open.
Yeah.
And
kids are inherently stealthy.
that, and especially against these things that you guys had to basically walk in and go, hey.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Frando?
God, imagine if an actual adventuring group went through here.
Oh God. They'd make so much noise.
So much noise and just attract everything.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Look
you guys,
at me with my 10 pounds of armor.
But yeah, you guys make it through. You guys make it through the alleyways, and you end up getting to the back of. Yeah, we're gonna say it's a butcher shop.
Okay.
And like, at the back of the building, there's like this pallet-like thing that's you guys kind of slid there. It kind of looks conspicuous that you guys put like twigs and branches in there. Just it's extra stealthy.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, it looks like your fort is as you guys left it last. So you guys open it up and
go in our fort.
all of you crawl inside. So what is your childhood kind of like secret base like?
A giant pillow fort.
Yeah, I think it's just real simple. Like, there's knickknacks of things we found in there, but I mean,
We might have like a crudely drawn map of like our normal adventure routes.
yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there's just gonna be a mismatch of broken things.
I'm sure that Tuki has some other pet rocks there.
Probably.
Some pet stale bread. He found it,
I
forgot to
know
eat
there's
it.
a whole shelf of stale bread.
You found it, forgot to eat it, it went stale, you just kept it, drew some eyes on it, stuck it on the shelf. Now it's your pet stale bread.
Yeah, the bread that you've left there, it's gone. It's completely moldy and kind of black. It doesn't look right.
Knowing that we're in the back of a butcher shop, is there a difference in the smell?
Yes, it normally you can smell kind of like that freshly
The
cut
sweet
meat,
The meat
smell of
smell?
meat.
but it just smells rotten.
Great.
So like that sweet sticky smell.
For the normal, what you guys normally smell?
No, rotting flesh, sticky smell.
Yeah, it's strong.
Do I have any cotton?
Any what?
Cotton.
Cotton?
Or wool, like just
I mean-
other pieces of cloth.
Yeah, you do. You picked it up in Tookie's house.
Just sticking it in my nose. Like, just think of if you've got a blood nose where you've got
Yeah.
the pieces of tissue, I've just now got pieces of cloth. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm imagining this helps clear the air for me a little bit.
Teeks is doing the careful breathing through your mouth thing.
Oh, that means you can taste it.
It's better than smelling it full force for
Yeah.
this, I'm guessing.
I doubt.
So while you guys are in here, like a little girl and Tim are there with you. Tim's going over to like his little area and checking his stash, see if his stuff is still there. He gets one of his toy weapons and
I was gonna say, I wouldn't be surprised if Tim pulled out an actual real knife. He seems like that kind
What?
of kid.
His blessed holy symbol.
what's funny is actually yes, he does pull out an actual knife.
Yeah, is that funny? Roll of the die. Like, yep, it's real.
No, well,
It's real because he hit you.
I did actually write down somewhere that he is,
He's packing heat.
but it like what I was rolling for was if he had kept it here.
Okay.
Okay.
He has a knife. It's just in this case he must have put it here at some point. But he pulls out an actual dagger.
Okay.
and it's got like a sheath on it, and he pulls it out just to kind of check it, and then he puts it back and kind of slips it into his pants a bit.
I'm guessing that they have things for some more, like, definitely makeshift, but better torches than glowing stick.
Yeah, you can definitely get some of the stuff in here. As you guys are kind of like scrounging around and picking up your knickknacks, I'm sure there's even like a slingshot in here that you guys can get. The floorboards above you, because you guys, I kind of imagine this like you guys are like beneath the floor.
Mm-hmm.
The floorboards above you start creaking. It sounds. It's the same sound that you're familiar with when the butcher's walking around. And it sounds like a heavy person.
Which sounds like the butcher.
Probably.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
And then we just hear.
Not quite.
Is there a walking staff or a corner staff that I can grab?
I mean,
there's an 8th staff.
it's definitely going to be teeny tiny.
Yeah. There's a shorter staff that
It's a
you.
matchstick.
It's a walking stick for kids.
Yeah, it's a
For
nice.
gnome kids.
Yeah, I'd say that there's definitely like a stick like that you have. It's your size.
You found a Goliath wand.
Yeah, it's my stick. I left it here.
A Goliath wand. The little girl's like, we should leave. We should get out of here.
Well, did we get the map?
This map? Just like reach into incredibly long pocket and just keeps going down like elbow length. This map? Just imagine you've got like a full length pocket down the outside of his
Hands
pants.
of holding.
Just like a full length pocket down like
Don't
the
go sitting in
right
a bag
side
of
of his
holding.
pants.
So our map looks correct. Nothing had it changed.
Yeah, like the map that you guys drew kind of like on the wall and stuff, like it hasn't changed at all. Everything looks exactly how you left it.
Except for the brain.
Yeah, everything, all kind of like the living material and stuff kind of looks decayed.
Okay.
But everything else, it's the same but dull and muted, and like there's no vibrant colors.
Okay.
Coraline.
And Teeks kind of looks around. She's like, "Is there anything else we need?"
Kind of like look at my stash of dried food and just be like, shit.
Yep,
Like
that's
this is just like what I managed to steal from the butcher.
Just
like
bugs.
like pretty bugs.
all. No, it's just decayed and rotten.
So the bread I brought in here is fine or no?
The bread
Like
that
a
you,
pack.
the bread that you packed with you before you guys went through the hole, that is all fine. It is the stuff that you have found since you've been here. All looks
Gross.
rotten.
And hand everyone a piece of bread if they want it.
Sure.
As he's handing out bread, I guess I'll hand out like dried meat.
So we're gonna take a rest. It sounds like.
Did you guys actually describe how you guys got in here to the little girl?
We told her that we went through a basement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like we weren't super specific.
No.
Okay. I'm just trying to piece together.
I mean, technically, everyone got here through a hole of some kind.
Hardy har har.
Some of you sooner than others.
I would like to die being eaten feet first by a snake. Sliding hole into a slimy maw would give my life perfect symmetry.
That's disgusting. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm quoting something that isn't just me.
I know.
But wow.
So, are you guys actually resting, or are you guys
Well, it sounds like we're having a snack before we set
Yeah.
out.
We're kids.
Like,
we
a
have
short,
to
a
snack.
short rest?
We don't have any juice boxes because they're all gone now.
But we're enjoying some dried meat and bread.
There's still the creaking from above you guys.
Yeah, we're probably being really quiet.
Is someone just rocking back and forth?
It's not quite rocking back and forth. It's that like There's movement. It kind of went across the floor, and then it seemed like it kind of went back. Kind of made made some circles. It's kind of slow.
So they're going through like the motions.
I mean, has it just stopped above us at any point?
Not in particular, no.
Okay. Because that would be like Teeks' red flag is if it were to stop right above them.
Mm-hmm.
They'd
Okay.
be,
We
like,
can just say tiki time.
trying to tell the little half-elf girl, like, shh, eat, shh.
At some point during all this, because of just how quiet everything's been, you guys do hear like the flapping of wings pass overhead.
Like bat wings or bird wings?
Like a whoosh?
It sounds like it would be a bird.
Okay.
A big bird?
Yes.
Yellow.
You can't tell. You guys are under the floorboards of a butcher shop.
I run outside.
No, then it kicks down the door.
You run outside and look up, and it is a massive black feathered bird, and it's got like a long body. You would guess that this thing probably had a wingspan of about 12 feet wide. The strange thing about it is that as it's flying past, it looks like it's shedding feathers almost, but it's not. It's more kind of wispy, and it seems like it's actually like dragging a shadow. Like it's dragging a shadow behind it.
Like, so, or is it more think of smoke tendril sort of thing coming off it rather than solid shadow?
Yeah. So.
Like it's not being stretched across.
So you know when you move like a flame?
Yeah.
And a trail of smoke behind it? That's what it looks like.
Oh.
But it's black.
Yep.
Does it look like any type of folklore, story, anything that sounds familiar?
Not that you're aware of. Not that you would have been told as a kid.
You guys would see me just fall back in. And like just staring at the ceiling. I just go, really, really big bird. And it's a ghost. Probably.
Is it an angry bird?
Okay.
No. No, it's a scary bird.
Don't worry about that.
Was that the big die?
It's a
It's a spooky.
spooky.
It's a spoopy bird.
It's a spooky bird.
Spoopy.
Yeah, the little girl is just gonna be like, I don't know what that is, but I'm guessing we shouldn't get its attention.
Have you seen other things like that?
I'm sorry. Spooky shadow bird. You want to get its attention?
Well, she said we shouldn't get its attention.
I thought she said we should get its attention.
No, she said shouldn't.
Hey.
I,
This is why I don't talk.
not like that. Oh, I've mostly tried to keep low, and I just avoid anything that moves.
How long have you been here?
I'm not sure. The light doesn't change. There's no day. There's not really a night. It's just like this.
Silent
Always.
Hill.
Well, if you were avoiding things that move, how did we find you? Are you just really bad at it?
You kind of looked different. You're brighter.
And like I kind of like look at myself and I'm like,
Yeah, your colors aren't muted. You guys.
Ew.
wait, so looking at everybody, we're like standing out as if we're like normal, but everything else is gray.
Yep.
Do we have any
I
clothes?
take my
stashed
shirt
here?
off and I throw it on the chair.
It for the time being, it seems that it stays the same.
I leave it there for a while until we leave.
Okay.
Do we actually have any clothes stashed here? Potentially.
Maybe.
You might have like a shirt.
Or shirt.
Does the little girl look muted?
No.
No,
Mm.
she looks more vibrant.
Okay.
That's why we noticed her.
Okay.
So-
yeah.
Yep. The clothes that you must have stashed here, they look muted.
Alright. I'll put one on. Still
I'm
muted?
gonna keep an eye on the clothes.
For now.
See if they do mute themselves.
I was just thinking like, hey look, I can look dark and be hidden.
Yeah. So okay. Tuki. Just before you guys take off, because I don't know where you guys are planning to go next.
I think we're going back to the first house.
Okay. It doesn't look as bright, but it doesn't look as muted as everything around you.
So my shirt did get muted a little bit.
A little bit. Not by much.
So I put my shirt back on, and again, I'm gonna keep an eye on it, if it brightens back up or not.
Okay.
Then I guess we leave.
Okay. Back to the first house. You guys kind of go about the sneaky. Okay. You guys are back outside of the abandoned house where this all started.
Pennywise is in there.
Maybe we should burn it down.
That sounds like how we'd end up here.
Well, if we destroy it,
Well, why don't we just go back through the way we came?
And then burn
there's
it.
something down there.
There wasn't anything down there when we left it.
Yeah, I mean,
We all heard the noise.
it might take a bit for us to crawl up through the hole, but like,
Well, how about why don't you go, and then come back and tell us?
That wouldn't work.
Do you think we need to slide down again or climb back up?
I don't know. Maybe climb back up? I mean, that only makes sense, right? Like, we slid in one way, you would think that the way we came out would be the way we go back.
But then maybe we slide out like we did before.
Maybe.
Yeah, go. Let us know.
You guys coming with me?
I don't want to go.
Yeah, I'm coming.
The little girl is gonna follow you guys as she does not want to be outside.
I'm looking for the bird and following.
As soon as they get inside, Teeks is gonna light a torch.
Okay. Now I'm guessing you guys got like a little bit of cloth this time on it, and so it's actually like a little flame.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you guys venture down back into the basement because Tim seems convinced that you need to go back up. So you guys get into the basement, and he kind of looks up at the ceiling like, crap. Could one of you give me a boost?
Yeah. And Teeks kinda.
Because you're much bigger than
I'm the big
everyone else.
friend.
So you kind of like hoist him up, and he kind of like grabs like the edge. It's like, it's a little slippery, but pulls out the dagger and just kind of digs it into the ground. Kind of like pulls himself up into the hole, and you kind of see him climbing up to the point that he just kind of disappears. And several moments go by. You don't hear anything. Then you kind of hear like him shuffling, getting up. Nothing for a second. And then you hear footsteps upstairs. And you kind of go to the front of the house, and they kind of turn back around. And now the footsteps are coming down the stairs. And it's Tim. I don't think it worked.
Okay, let's try going up and then coming down again.
Okay. Everyone's going upstairs. So you guys get to the hole, and a little girl kind of... This is the way you got in here?
Yep.
He smiles.
Now he's doing math.
You take this much damage.
Okay. Newbie, I need you to make me a dexterity acrobatics or a strength athletics check.
Fuck. Acrobatics. I can do this. I can't do this. That's a 1.
The little girl grabs you, and her form starts to change.
Oh no, that was a crit failure, by the way.
Huh?
That was a crit failure, by the way.
So she has grabbed you, and at this point, her form starts shifting, and she's getting bigger and bigger, and she is just this large, gray, kind of like humanoid figure with long arms with claws at the end that she's got you in. And at this point, for the first time, everyone roll for initiative.
No.
No, I ran away.
Is initiative dex plus proficiency or just...
It's just your dex.
Okay. It's a 6.
A 19. I'm fucking
Of course it
right.
is.
I mean, you are the one being grabbed.
Roll an 8.
A 9.
Okay, so you had 9,
Yep.
and I can see you're starting to get tired.
I'm so tired.
I'm trying to... we're moving this forward.
Okay.
Pip got
What's going on?
Katie's dying.
I'm sleepy. My bedtime was 2 hours ago.
Chucky
Oh,
got...
mine's in 5 hours.
Chucky got an 8, and...
It's a 6.
Teak got a 6.
I'm ready to get out of this.
Okay, newbie.
I'm still okay with the
Wait.
suicide pact.
Is this turning into the bird?
No. This is a large, kind of like grayish figure. Once it's this large gray figure, it seems to stop shifting.
Yeah, Max, I'll link you the short story that this thing's in. After the game.
This is the hippopage, isn't it?
This is fucking Heavifage.
I'm curious.
Right.
The last person that it ate was that little girl.
This thing already ate someone?
Oh.
Oh, right. Okay.
So,
What is newbie gonna do?
how do I get out of this thing?
Dexterity acrobatics or strength athletics?
Can I get more than a 1 this time? That's a
By
10.
the way, I should remind you, you have an inspiration die.
Oh, yeah. That's a 12.
It's a little better.
You do not get out.
It's a little better.
Does
Um,
I'm on
this
one
thing
wheel.
have a face?
I got caught on something when I tried to slide forward.
I don't know what a Hephaphasia is.
Okay. So this you can kind of see where a head would be. Like it has a head-like shape. It's
Yeah.
a really elongated form.
Okay.
And at the top of it, it has a head, but it's a featureless face.
So
Have you
it
ever
doesn't
had
have eyes
sleep
or anything?
paralysis? Where you'll think there's something in the room with you?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. So this thing doesn't have a face.
Okay.
It's a very plain looking thing. Its skin kind of is almost looks like stretched leathery parchment, if that makes sense.
Gross. Okay. Well.
Yeah. So it is the Hepaphage's turn.
Cool.
I am going to need newbie to give me. I think I originally had this as a wisdom saving throw, but I don't think that's correct actually.
From From what I know of what a hepaphage does, it will be a con or a strength save.
Okay, in this case, it's a Constitution save because strength doesn't make a lot of sense.
Ten.
That is not enough.
I am great with these. Roll my initiative.
I knew they.
Everything else.
Well, honestly, out of all of them, for him to grab, he was the best one
You were the most squishy.
because there's something about this thing that actually it doesn't do damage.
It just eats you.
Okay. Your maximum lifespan decreased by 75 years.
Oh, yeah, okay, blink. Oh, well, I didn't need those anyway. That's gonna take a fucking while.
Depends on if you keep failing.
Yep.
Okay. It's Pip's turn.
So, the reason why I asked if it had a face was because I was going to like just throw like dirt or something at its face, but it doesn't have a face.
I was trying to find a picture of is it Heb and HEB or
It doesn't
HEB?
exist.
It's not it's something I
Well,
created.
Hi.
Okay, so my stick was once upon a time on fire, but it's not anymore.
No, not at the
But the end is probably still a tad bit warm.
Okay.
Warm, glowing.
I'm gonna like
Where are you gonna stick it?
just like in its side. Does it have a side? It doesn't have a face.
No, it does have a side. Like, it has a longer body, but this thing's arms are also very long, and it's grabbing him. So you could also stab it in the arms as well.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like.
But I'm also only so tall, so like
Okay.
I'm gonna stab it in the side.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me an attack roll. Because it's a stick, I'm guessing that's a strength based.
Well, I think you
Yeah,
said
your
everything.
stick.
Yeah, you told me it was strength.
Yep. Stick is strength.
7.
No, that's not enough.
Just kidding, 5.
Being a kid sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah. So,
Where would that go down?
that's
7?
fine. Well, I was thinking like 1, so I went up 1, but it's -1, so it goes
Oh.
down 5.
Okay. You can still kind of like move away. You could run. You could slide through the hole.
Yeah, you could just ditch us.
But I'm not going to slide through the hole because then I wouldn't be able to see Deeks.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna like poke, run to the corner or whatever I would think is safest.
Okay. Tookie. It's your turn.
I don't know what I would do here. Probably try and. Wait, did we get free?
No.
Newbie did not get free. He is still being grappled.
Okay, then I'm gonna go. Oh no! And I'm gonna grab onto him and try and wedge him free.
Okay, so you're gonna try
All
to.
free.
Okay.
Wait, actually, I don't know if this is an action or not. I'll let you know. Rescue. Can I first throw my rat at it and then try and free him?
I'll allow it.
Yeah, so I pull the rat out and I go, squeak, squeak, squeaker, squeaker, McSqueaker. And what I said was, try and hurt it, and I throw the rat. And then I grab on to Newbie and I start pulling him.
I'm gonna have you do 2 rolls for this. Give me an animal handling.
Okay? -1. Yay.
Yeah, I don't know why. These are in my possession.
I don't know. You
So I think he got bit by his own rat.
Do you want
What did you roll?
A 1.
I'm okay.
Oh my goodness.
We are so good at this rolling today.
So did you
guys.
roll a
But, like,
1 or
They hit my
was it a 1 after the
sunglasses, so can I roll
modifier?
again?
What? Hit your what?
Oh, I have an inspiration die. I'll use that.
Sure
I
you
can
want
actually
to,
do that, right?
I was gonna say, you sure you want to use it for that or for trying to pull him free?
Oh, my rat.
Okay.
I know, no, it's fine.
You're such a team player, Max.
Okay, and then
What is it, the wedge and free? An intelligence saving throw?
say that again.
Is it an intelligence saving throw to get him free?
No, it's not an intelligence saving throw. For a second, I was very confused where that was coming from. Oh, right, he put his stats in intelligence. Well, that depends. How are you trying to get him free?
Intelligently.
Yes. See?
No,
So-
that is not.
That's not that how
That's
that
not
works.
the actions that you're taking for it. Acting intelligently is a.
Trying to
Right.
identify the weak points in
You
its
got it.
grip.
You got this. Intelligent.
He's sitting there going like, okay, so you need to do this to get out. He's doing intelligence shit to
Wanna
tell me
go.
how to free myself.
What would my father do?
What would my father do?
And twirls his non-existent mustache.
Scold him a lot.
So, newbie, you break free at this instant.
Roll a
And then
charisma
you-
check. No, I'm joking.
He's actually going to be a
Yeah,
bard.
I'm gonna do like the typical kids thing. Like I'm gonna reach out, and grab both of his arms, and be like, and just try and pull him away.
He's like,
I'm gonna have you roll an athletics check.
As an adorable little gnome.
Does he get
with
advantage?
intelligence.
Would he be being helped by newbie?
Reach out, touch base.
he's not being
Well,
hindered by
actually,
me,
it's
that's
on the
for
floor and
sure.
right through it.
I wouldn't.
Okay, hang on, I use this dice.
So
Use
okay,
my reaction
so,
to assist
So
him.
correction. So either you roll for that, or on his next roll to escape, he gets advantage. I will allow one of those two things.
Well, I kind of know what I rolled already.
Well, I don't know what you
So-
rolled.
Okay, so as long as you're gonna let me, okay. I feel like I'm metagaming now. No, I'm gonna give him advantage.
Okay. That's fair.
But yeah,
Don't worry.
It's a one shot. It's okay.
I realize that I gave you that decision a little late, but you guys are also horribly outmatched for this.
I'm gonna help him.
Okay. So T.
So we're in a pantry. Does it have freestanding shelves, or are they
Yes.
shelves built into the
They are
wall?
freestanding shelves.
Is there a shelf that if I were to try to pull it down, it would hit this monster and not crush newbie?
Possibly.
I don't like the
Okay,
sound of
so
that.
I'm gonna try to grab. I'm assuming this is kind of like in thirds.
Okay.
So I'm gonna grab like the middle shelf
Okay.
and try to like jump up near the top and rip it down.
I don't like the sound of it.
Okay. Give me a strength athletics check.
Okay. 13?
Yeah, that's enough.
Yes.
You manage to, you jump up, like you have a hold of the shelf, and then you kind of like swing your feet between the shelves and just push against the wall, and you just get it tilted enough that it starts falling, and you're also under it, but it hits the creature before you hit the ground.
Good thing I'm a kid and not a
Um,
full-sized adventurer. Otherwise, I would have taken damage for that for sure.
Yeah,
No, that's when you grab the top shelf.
and it collides with this creature, and he lets go. Yay! To kind of like, well, you'll see on his turn. So newbie,
Yes.
you are free.
Yay.
Sorry to undo your action, Max. I didn't think it would drop him.
Well, can I still get to advantage on something?
I mean, you basically took the help action, so you can kind of help him with whatever he does, if I understand correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm still gonna help him.
Yep. That's absolutely allowed. By the way, the rat you kind of threw it at him, and it jumped off and ran away.
Jump down the chute.
It tried.
You rolled a 1.
What a lame rat. I'm pissed at it. I'm gonna find it.
Oh, actually, I realized before newbie's turn, Tim didn't go.
Oh, well, Tim goes now then.
Yeah, Tim goes now. I was gonna say, oh, what about the little girl? Oh. The little girl's already acting. Tim pulls out his dagger. And he's going to kind of like stab it in the back. He actually hits.
Good job, Tim.
He rolled a 15.
Good job, Tim.
You only
Max
get rolled up
damage.
the saw.
Good job, Tim.
Was that a backstab as well? Extra damage?
Is
He's
he
not
a
a
rogue?
rogue.
Flanking? Something?
Should we be getting advantage on our hits because we are definitely like flanking for
Flanking?
how it works in 5e?
That's complicated with this situation.
It's such a small room.
I mean, at this point, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Also, the whole idea of the flanking thing is that you're drawing the creature's attention in different directions.
We're coordinating and mobbing it. We're not really
we've got
coordinating, we're just
him
mobbing it.
and,
So yeah, I suppose the attack rolls against it would be with advantage.
Okay.
So let me roll one more for Tim.
To see if he crits.
He didn't crit.
I mean, I remember when I was being like, oh, I'm definitely hitting with this roll, and Donnie's like, you've got advantage, though. Roll to see if you crit this immediate crit.
So he manages to stab it in the back, and the creature kind of like, as it's getting crushed by this thing, kind of like reeling away from it, and
Get janked.
okay, now it's Newbie's turn.
I
You're free.
got my little toy bow. I've got my little toy bow. Can I fire it? It doesn't have eyes. It doesn't have a
It
face.
no, it doesn't.
Does it have a crotch?
I mean, it has legs. You're not sure if what's between them does anything.
It doesn't have a mouth either, does it?
No.
No.
Does it have a nipple?
No, this thing is kind
It's
of
a
featureless
blank
and bland.
slate.
It's a shapeshifter. This thing doesn't have a very...
Shapeshifters have nipples too.
Not one's born out of... Nipples have a very...
It's
Shapeshifters
the next
have nipples
PSA. The next PSA.
The more you know.
Changes things have nipples too.
But yeah, no, it doesn't have any like features that you would expect out of like a normal creature. Its form is just it's weird. It's weirdly proportioned.
Right.
I know it's kind of.
Hold on my hand.
Do I have a length of anything that could be considered rope?
You got some string.
Ain't good enough. It's rope to a kid.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Like,
Imagination.
gonna be like hand one side of the rope to Stooky. We'll start running around its legs with the rest of it. It's like a ball of twine or something.
Probably in a bag you had. Probably not in your pocket.
It's like it's somewhere on my person.
Otherwise, all I imagine is that you have like these overstuffed pockets.
He has trip pants.
I've just got like these puffy
Pockets
pantaloons.
upon pockets.
Pantaloons.
I've just got pantaloons, and all of my items are shoved inside the pantaloons.
Okay.
So it's like I don't actually reach into my pocket. I just stuff my hand down the front of my pants and pull something.
Okay. Since technically.
What am I grabbing?
Since technically you don't really have to roll to run around it with rope, what I'm going to do for Max's help is actually give it disadvantage on
Saving.
on the save to basically not fall prone.
8.
Yeah, it failed.
Yes, I did it with my rope. Teamwork.
So this thing is like been stabbed in the back. It's pushing.
Well, if
This,
it fell prone, then that would come down on it, wouldn't it?
I'm getting there. So it's like trying to push this thing off of itself. It got stabbed in the back. There's rope around its legs, and then it kind of like gets tripped almost, falls, and then not the bookshelf, the pantry shelf falls on top of it, and it's still moving. It's not dead.
Why do we sound like a bunch of nightmare kids?
I mean, this is a nightmare monster.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it is now its turn.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Good thing it's gotta struggle its way up now.
I want to double check something.
Can it count as restrained?
No.
Damn.
Extreme restraints, how come?
First off, you only put it around its legs.
Is it
It
into
still
that?
has arms. Very long, spindly arms.
Is it into that? This is an important question.
You can't tell.
We are like 12.
We're like 8.
So I'm like 40.
Okay.
Same.
It's actually going to try to grab Tim.
Good.
Didn't like that bastard
Oh.
anyway.
I want to take me.
You're too short to be worth it.
Tim managed to avoid it, so it's going to try grabbing the next closest person.
That's me, isn't it?
Okay, I need you to roll a strength athletics or dexterity acrobatics.
You
This
can't
thing's
have
rolling
the
like
juice
shit.
bag.
How's a 3?
Not good enough. You are now grappled. However, you do not need to make a saving throw this round.
Okay.
Not my friend, you bitch.
Is it still on the ground?
Yes.
Okay.
So it basically kind of rotated and then reached out to grab Tim. It missed Tim, so it went for you next.
Alright, so I'm stabbing it with my hot stick in the arm that is grabbing.
On the bright side, she's like stabbing down.
She does get advantage because it's prone.
2 d20s.
How about a 17?
17 will in fact hit. Now normally the stick wouldn't do a whole lot, but because it's a little bit hot, I'll let you roll a d4.
Oh. It's a d4. Where are my d4s? There's a d4. 3.
Linka, I do wish you would stop
Okay.
standing on my crotch.
Hey, you managed to
Let's
stab it,
roll
but
your
it
weight.
doesn't let go.
Oh.
Let it go.
Okay. Tookie. This thing is on the ground.
I'm gonna take my. Well, actually, I'm gonna take Jerry, the pet rock, and then I'm gonna just start hitting it in its stupid face.
It doesn't have a stupid face.
That's
Where
how
the-
stupid it is.
Where the
Doesn't have a
face would be. I just imagine
This
I
little
choose-
gnome gremlin.
I choose you, pet rock. Quack 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 quack.
Oh no!
Yeah.
All I can think
Yeah,
of is
Jerry.
this comic, and there's someone walking their pet rock, and someone goes
Yep.
to make fun of them.
Oh yeah.
And then
No,
they
down,
start
boy,
beating
down.
them with the pet rock, saying "Down, boy."
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and roll an attack. It's going to be a strength-based weapon. Strength-based familiar.
And you have advantage.
And you do have advantage on the attack.
I gotta. This is Jerry. He has a sharp edge,
He does have a
Yeah.
sharp edge.
so I'm just like, eh.
Jerry, help!
Kill Jerry!
Jerry, sick balls.
What the fuck?
Did you roll 2 1s?
No, I rolled a. Not that bad. I rolled a 4 and a 1.
Not that bad.
No, wait. You apply strength to that, right?
Yes.
And I roll a 0 and a 4.
Can I give him my inspiration?
Yes, actually you can.
Alright.
Did I use mine with the help? Or no?
No, you didn't. So actually, no, you can't give it to him because he already has it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna use mine.
Okay.
Okay, roll
But I
one
roll
more.
1 dice then, right?
Yep, roll one more.
Not 2.
Yep, just 1.
I'm gonna roll a 1 that was a 1. Can't happen again, right?
No.
Yeah, lightning never strikes twice.
You're not a halfling, so you don't have halfling luck.
5.
That is marginally better.
That is
It's
that is better.
an improvement by 1.
Unfortunately, it's still not enough.
Alright, Cherry. We're gonna have to have a talk.
We'll have to have a talk.
I-
Okay. Huh? I know. You guys aren't running from this thing. What is
No,
wrong
we're
with
gonna
you?
kill it.
I was gonna grab the two little ones on my
Don't
next
run
turn
from
and
it.
jump out of the hole, but it has me now.
Indeed, it does. With
But
that,
I do say, you should go! You should go.
Teak.
Spark it.
I was gonna say, can I like try to sparks at it while I struggle away?
Sure, I'll let you do that. I'm gonna say that because of like everything that's going on, go ahead and roll strength athletics or dexterity acrobatics to get free with advantage.
I rolled the same thing.
Oh my
I got an
gosh.
8.
A what?
I rolled 2 9s, I got an 8.
Surprisingly, that's enough to get out.
Awesome.
It rolled a 5.
Awesome.
So you are now free. You can move.
Okay. She would still sparks because that's like she's
Okay.
scared.
Okay.
And the movement would be if Pip's in the way, if there's a little person that she can move easily in the way, she is grabbing them as she runs out the hole.
I'm guessing that you're basically going straight from there to the hole. So yeah, Pip would be on the way because the way I imagined it is it's on its back grabbing you, and the hole's on the other side of it. So you would go. Pip's at its head trying to beat it with a rock.
Well, no, that.
Or no,
She
not-
has a
oh, not
stick.
Pip.
He's got a rock.
Okay.
I've got the
Oh,
stick.
so-
Can I just grab both?
I will let you grab both of them.
Does the sparks actually do anything, or is it more for show?
More for show.
Okay.
Tim is going to follow closely behind you, or try to.
Okay. Yeah.
Because
Because she's gonna be like, "Get out of here, guys!" and just Dragonborn carry.
holy shit,
We're all dead.
God damn
Tim
it.
narrowly escaped this thing trying to grab it as an attack of opportunity.
I would have left him.
We're leaving them.
I would have already been down the hole.
So would they? You would only be
What
me.
about you, newbie? Do you make it?
Oh, clearly I'm fighting this thing. Not really, I'm going.
Oh shit! Have a good life.
Okay, so you guys are booking it out. You slide down the hole, and you land in about waist deep water in the basement.
Good thing I have the two little ones.
It's not very much water.
And you guys follow shortly after.
Yeah. Was that a short joke?
Ha.
Ha 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 ha. Tim follows. Tim's right behind you, and then Newbie slides down. You all land in this waist deep water in this basement.
Did I have the opportunity to hear splashing?
I'm gonna say you were too panicked. No, not before you would have gone down,
No.
because it's like within 6 seconds and stuff, and it's all within like the same time span.
I don't know, like, if I heard a splash, I'd just be like,
Do you not like water?
nope.
Well, sploosh.
Teeks is not stopping until we are not in this house.
Okay.
So, like, basically there's a halfling here and a gnome here, and she's just going.
Okay.
Just got them both in a headlock, not even probably carrying them, just...
So you guys, you're trudging through. It's a little bit difficult, and you hear scratching coming from the hole.
Yeah, no.
But does she? I think she just keep going.
Cool,
Is it a
it
rat?
can scratch.
So you kind of get out of the basement and up, and then you hear a splash in the basement.
Well, is it the other people behind, or
No, we're already with
No,
you.
they're like right on your heels.
Set the
is
house
there
on
a
fire.
door we can...
I mean, there's the door to the basement that was left open. There's the door to the front.
She would just shout, "Close the door!"
Don't hold the door.
Like, I don't have hands.
You guys are sprinting out. Tim like slams the door
Wait!
behind you.
I was behind Tim!
Faster than Tim, you're
No,
an
okay. So more specifically, he waits for you to run through, and then he slams the door.
Tim's not that kind of asshole friend.
No, he just led you guys to a horrible place.
And, Teeks is gonna, like, spark at anything she can to see if she can light this bitch up.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Sparks the gnome, throws the gnome.
Roll survival.
Me to spread the sparks.
That's a 10.
Being lit.
Is there anything dry enough to catch in there?
Yeah, some of the furniture in here is dry enough to catch.
Okay.
And, like, you get something catching, but you hear this thing, like,
Going
coming up the stairs.
Leaving.
We're out of here.
Okay, slamming the door behind you, you run out into the street. It's nighttime now, but you can see the stars.
That's
Everything looks normal. And the house is starting to catch ablaze. And do you guys stick around?
No!
Okay, so you guys are just running.
Yes, I do.
Um,
I'm gonna go free.
Teeks might stick around to make sure that the thing doesn't get out. But if it does get out, running is happening. It's not like, oh, we're gonna stand and fight to keep it in the
Are you
house.
sure Teeks is staying if everyone else is gone?
It sounds like Tuki's staying with me.
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
Tim's gonna stay as well because he's kind of he's in the same mindset. I don't want to see this thing come out of the rubble. If it does, okay, then yes, let's fucking run.
Straight to Pip's house.
Yeah.
Where parents are already gone.
Yeah, it's past the time you guys should be out. By the way, both in real life and not.
What about 2 hours?
So I'm guessing that you're not just trying to spark like one thing. You're like you spark a few things.
Like.
and like the thing starts like gashing at the door, and like you see splinters coming from the door from the basement, and you guys are fucking out, and things are starting to catch ablaze. This place is very dry, and it doesn't seem like it's been upkept very well. So by the time you guys get out, the house is already catching ablaze, and from the outside you just see this house consumed in flames, and it just crumbles under the weight of itself. And at this point, there are a few guards who have run down here because
That's fine.
there's a fire in the city.
That's fine.
And yeah, so this house crumbles to ash.
That bitch is in the basement in the water.
There's guards. They can deal with it.
So, are all of you going to someone's house? Are you?
Teek is going to Pip's house.
Yep.
And I'm sure that they all did the scared kid gibbering at the guards. There was and it looked like
The guards are just.
We're gonna go home now.
Calm down. Just head home. We will take care of everything from here.
We're gonna have a sleepover. Come on, let's go.
And
go to my house.
They're like, it's got long arms and be careful with the thing. It's got claws.
Okay, so you're all going over to Pip's house.
Yep.
Okay. So, by the way, this is kind of like the epilogue of it. So we have wrapped up. So, you guys have a sleepover. Things are peaceful.
We 100%
Your mother-
told her parents
Your mother is furious.
that there was this
Your
horrible
dad doesn't
monster.
come home.
Your mother's furious. She does not want you to have a sleepover.
Tough
Mom, we have to have a sleepover tonight.
She's just not listening. She doesn't care.
Mom.
I gave her the rest of the bread.
Teeks is like, there was this thing and that's why we're late and da-da-da-da. And she like just tells all about this horrible monster that was chasing them.
She thinks you guys are telling tales.
I mean, doesn't this kid look scratched up or anything? Or me?
A little bit, but that could be explained for a number of reasons.
I lost 75 years. There's
Also, she
nothing to show
rolled
for it.
1 on her insight check.
Can I minor illusion the thing?
I lost 75 years of my life and there's nothing to show for it. That's a fucking
Okay.
waste of time.
Can I try to persuade her?
I guess
Okay.
you can.
Does anybody want to help me persuade her?
I mean, I'm guessing all of you are trying to.
I'm guessing that this is just with advantage because it's a wall of
Yeah.
yammering children.
This is why you hire orphans.
That's a 9.
We can probably count the rolls we've done above 10 on a single
No,
hand.
she's sending you all home.
I see her in my house.
She's pissed off. You're grounded.
Again.
But Mom, consider.
Nope. Not after the last time. So, all of you are sent out.
Except for me.
Yeah, she's.
I'm grounded. I can't leave.
She's just like standing there with her hand on your ear, just like, nope, you're not going anywhere.
Actually, like, even with the sight, like, even with Tim there, like, that just makes her even more upset.
Because Tim's got a knife?
Did he leave the knife in the thing's back?
Probably.
But Mom, you know I hate Tim, so I wouldn't invite him over. If
That's when Tim's like, you what?
And after that, I don't blame you. But yeah, so whether or not you guys go to someone else's house, do you go to Tookie's house?
Probably not Tookie's house. That's too close. Probably whoever is next furthest from the house.
Probably his.
I want to go to the fort. That's where I want to go.
Oh, you want to go to the fort?
We took it to the fort. It knows where the fort is. I'm not going to the fort.
I'm kind of with Newbie on this about if that thing's alive, it knows where the fort is.
I'm grounded. I can't leave my house.
Good.
I'm out.
We're gonna break you out.
Don't know where your house is.
Please don't.
Yeah. So you guys are going to his house.
I
don't know. Your parents are working. They're probably passed out at this point. I'm guessing at this point you're just like, we're just gonna sneak in. No worries.
I would sneak everybody in.
So.
Don't worry, we'll just do a gnome toss, get him through the open window on the top floor.
I'm guessing that Teek's parents went through worse than what she's done with her older brother. And
Probably.
with how fast Dragonborn mature, I'm sure she's like halfway an adult anyway.
That too.
It won't. She'll be through this in no time.
I feel like Teek has the most relaxed parents. Shy of straight up absentee parents like Max's.
Okay. I may have to alter this a little bit, but this is pretty much the ending of this. After escaping the nightmare world, you sigh in relief. The color of the world of bleak Rivertan is more inviting than you possibly could have thought. You each fall asleep at night, and visions of that place and the feelings you guys had stick with you. Several of you continue to have nightmares. Tookie! I rolled twice for this, so I'm sorry. You lay staring at the ceiling. Something is just keeping you up at night. Visions of what you encountered are burned in your memory, and sleep is just coming very difficult to you. But at one point, you blink. You blink a bit, and you must have slept for a little bit, but when you awake, you see an image of yourself standing above you. Just before you can scream, the copy of yourself places its hand over your mouth and muffles you, with your friends just nearby.
That's fucked up.
Its strength is far more than you could really deal with at this point. The large gray form that you had encountered earlier begins to form, and you feel an energy being drained from your body. You get weaker and weaker. Suddenly, you don't even have the energy to scream, and it just grips you closer, continuing to drain the energy from you. At last, you are so tired and weak
Spooky.
that sleep sounds inviting to you. You can't fight back. You're just too weak at this point, and you slowly drift to sleep, feeling the expanse of nothing, and all life has been drained from you. And that's the spooky house.
Right? These kids are
That
fucking
was
scarred
spooky.
for life when they wake up in the morning.
So by the way, what I had done was I assigned each of you a set of numbers for who this was going to happen to at the end. I rolled twice to confirm. And it came up your number both times, Max.
It happens.
Yep.
You know?
Your time is up.
So,
I had a character live in Rivertan.
Hey, this is my first time in Rivertan. I'm still alive.
but yeah, so
Not for long.
what did you guys think?
It was fun.
That was spooky.
The description of Tuki's parents was not okay.
It was not okay.
It
Absolutely
wasn't okay. It was
not.
perfectly fine.
I was also expecting, like, the butcher to suddenly start stabbing into the floor.
I was making mental checks about what was going on for that. So to answer some questions, one, yes, that was a hepatophage, and the way that it does
What?
damage, is
That
it
was the
actually,
hepatophage.
yeah, it drains your life energy. It had claws. It could
Oh.
technically have killed you that way, but it didn't want that. And more specifically, the place you guys went to was my version of the Shadowfell. So it's an exact duplicate of the material world, just bleaker and horrible monsters are there.
And
Be-
horrible.
Because you guys were kids, there were not a lot of things that were really noticing you. The bird was one of them. I was rolling checks to see if it would spot you. But it didn't.
So I liked my favorite part of the whole thing was how, like, non-violent it all was.
Yeah, with one-shots, I tried to keep it down to at least one combat. Because combat takes forever.
Even like when we escaped from Max's wagons and the slave thing.
Yeah. So
We didn't get to the arena.
Feel free to take off. I'm gonna. This is the point in the stream that I'm gonna leave open to questions, and just kind of for us to be able to discuss with the audience some stuff. And yes, we're in group. There was no Andrew tonight. So
We have a cat instead.
I am just sending Max the link for the Hephaphage short story, and I'm putting it in chat too if anybody would like to
Oh yes,
read that.
this was a creature that I created a while back, and I wrote a short story about it.
Oh, sorry.
Not sure if that's a blessing or not. It got me to be able to write a one-shot. It ate into my NaNoWriMo time, but that's fine. What's funny is that last scene I wrote at a bar.
What would the, like, zombie people have done if we would have, like, stuck around with Tuki's dad and that?
They probably would have, started... I didn't completely have that out. I really was expecting you guys to just run from them. More or less, they would have just tried to, my guess is that they would have made you more like them.
Okay.
So they would have drained kind of your vitality
Okay.
and your personality. I had not actually, statted them out.
Okay.
And in fact, if you didn't notice, I didn't really have the hepatophage statted.
Yeah.
You guys were not going to kill that.
Yeah. I think we did an okay job incapacitating it.
No, and actually what's funny is you guys did exactly what I was hoping you were going to do, which was light the house on fire.
I said it before we even went in there.
Yeah, no, I'm very happy that you guys took that approach. I tried to not make this thing seem as railroady. I was trying to leave it open.
Mm-hmm.
It's very difficult to have you guys kind of set loose after something. But I like the let's go to Tuki's house and see what's there.
So the thing's in the normal realms now, isn't it?
Yes, it is in the material plane.
How can it survive in the material plane? if it's like meant to
Eating
be.
kids.
That's exactly what it does. Is that it sustains off of the life force of the things it devours.
So this thing's gonna start devouring the material plane.
It's sort of.
It's gonna eat kids.
Yeah, there's plenty of things that can come from the Shadowfell and exist in the material plane without much problem. It's not common for things to come from the Shadowfell. In fact, largely the trigger for the Hebephage to find you guys was it actually figuring out where you guys came through.
That's what I was gonna ask.
So if you guys
How did
had,
it know?
yeah, so as soon as it had discovered the way that you got through, it was going to transform and consume you because it didn't care after that. You were a bunch of kids. It didn't see you as a threat. I mean, you put up one hell of a fight.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so there is a Hebephage released into the material plane.
It's okay, the Borsts will deal with it.
Borsk.
Borska.
Borsk has it. I'm sure they've got something written down about it somewhere.
Yep.
So how'd the hole get there?
That's a
How
great
did we
question.
get there?
It was just kind of something that existed, kind of hidden away.
The previous owner of the house knew it was there, or
Or it just manifested over time.
Just I think of the crack in the wall in Doctor Who.
Yeah, that was actually caused from...
I know what it's called.
Or
from.
you can think of it as like the chairs like in the Golden Compass series
Yeah.
when that one little boy fell through.
Something horrible that ended up happening between the planes of reality just for the sake of the story.
I'm gonna take your big old sack of dice.
cool.
My big old sack of dice.
Katie got the real sack here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm leaving this bag for my laptop and stuff,
Okay.
and I'm just taking that plastic bag.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, when he was briefing us on this, I was like, oh, I wonder what it's gonna be the Hebephage.
At first, I wasn't going to. When I was initially coming up with this... See that?
Yeah.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Cuties.
Eventually.
When I was originally, the original inspiration for this was I was actually listening to an episode of the Dungeon Masters blog, and one of the viewer questions, they were asking for some advice on a campaign they were choosing to run where all of them were kids. But the theme of it was that a circus had come to town, and there was something off about the circus.
Okay.
Originally, I was going to go with something like that.
Like the circus was kidnapping kids or something.
Oh,
Yeah, or
why-
like
why-
turning them into creatures. There were a number of things that I was
Where did my
thinking
mind
about
immediately
doing.
go with that?
Mm-hmm.
The mask one.
Mirror Mask?
Yeah. My mind immediately went to Mirror Mask. You know what that is?
No, I don't.
I have it. We can watch it sometime.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. So the general premise for people watching. Has anyone in the stream chat actually watched Mirror Mask or know what it is?
I think I'm the only person here besides you.
Oh, fucking really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was really popular on the West Coast. It wasn't a East Coast movie.
It was in New Zealand apparently.
Yeah, but like in America.
um,
Kind of like Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah.
Labyrinth was really a West
but
Coast
it
movie too.
starts in a circus, and the main character is a young circus performer. She performs in the
Yeah, she's helping. Her parents are in it.
Okay.
and it's they're wearing masks. Mirror Mask.
Okay.
I don't really want to explain any of it because explaining any of it is
Well,
confusing.
Her
and
mom gets sick and she gets transported to a magical world.
more
Oh, okay.
and it's all yeah, it's very interesting.
It's a little bit Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, so I had a bit of inspiration. Really, the story kind of coalesced naturally because I had to think more about Rivertan itself. I had not actually defined that it was a mining town and the river itself. The whole idea of the elementals coming out of the water was just kind of something that I found interesting.
I need to go take my meds real quick.
Damn druggy.
And so, like, working off of, oh, hey, nobody, like, you're not supposed to go near the river. Well, what if there was an abandoned house by it? Kind of just as a seed, and then my mind went to Stranger Things.
Like an abandoned
Yeah, I
watermill.
couldn't watch any of that today.
Well, I'm talking about, like, the original.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. What abandoned watermill? From
Yeah.
before they figured out the water elementals.
But yeah, so there was some inspiration from Stranger Things for this.
Haven't seen it.
And then it's like, oh man, if I'm having them go somewhere, where am I going to have them go? Okay, Shadowfell. I want to have some creatures get out. What are we going to release? Fuck, I guess I am using the Hebephage.
So, Katie's character that she played in this is going to carry over to our next actual set of campaigns and non-one-shots?
No.
Or
No. This actually took place
Parallel time?
pretty much.
Yeah, she's
Okay.
playing Bridget still.
I just recalled that being an idea, I think,
Yeah.
for it. I didn't know if we're actually doing that or not, which is why I was surprised she wasn't a Tabaxi.
She wanted to be a halfling.
Yep. So we're going to see these characters again, potentially, maybe, possibly, these kids.
That depends on if they don't get eaten by a Hebephage.
Mine's gone.
Huh?
Mine's gone.
Yeah, Tuki's gone.
Yeah.
Chucky is no more.
I've got a thing with saying that about gnomes, don't I? First it was Mori, now it's Tuki. Who's next?
But yeah.
Don't play a gnome around me.
So Max, I know you're still probably pretty busy. But I wasn't sure if you were wanting... Oh yeah, because we were starting to talk about it. You wanted to join us for Fridays? Since
Yep. Things are lightening up a little bit.
You're gonna hold your butt down here, or you're gonna do it more like this?
It depends on if I can get out there.
Yeah, well,
At least we got a way to get them over.
I want to.
we would love to have you here because this table fits 6 people.
Yeah, we just made it. By we, I mean Gareth.
We got a few more tech things that we need to upgrade, but overall, like, it's great.
Also, his computer was quiet the entire time.
I know, it's amazing what happens when you clean cat hair out of a computer.
Wasn't like that much cat hair was in the computer. My fingers width.
Yeah.
If that's parallel, little.
That's gross.
It's just.
But yeah, so how did you guys like the mechanics of your character?
I mean, yeah, felt like a kid. Don't really do much. Or don't really do much effective.
Yeah, I didn't want to disempower you guys too much, but at the same time, you guys are kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I
We
was
should have gotten a bonus to charisma.
Huh?
Should have gotten a bonus to charisma. We're cute as fuck, kids.
It's more like other people get disadvantage. But I did also want you guys to kind of be unique in the fact that you kind of got to choose the variation of your skills, but not too much.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, Rune Group, thanks.
What did Rune Group do?
Subscribed.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, what does that do? Well, I remember what subscribing does. Never
It
mind.
actually,
I'm competent.
Yeah, he
Good
hangs
job.
out with us.
I don't have much of a memory.
but
He's
yeah,
a fan.
yeah. So hopefully, Katie will be joining us in the next session. I think.
Will she? We haven't finished the thing, or is she joining us in the thing?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I might be working. That depends on when we get to play Masks of the Dead next.
Or, you know, if we stop by at a brothel in Masks of the Dead, we can pick a character up. Isn't it a flashy one again?
Well, you guys are also kind of pressing for time on things.
Yep. Which is why I was like, I don't think we're going to do it. I've just been playing with your deck of cards the entire night.
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah.
They're a spooky deck of cards, too. What were they from again?
They were
Oh,
temporary.
Rune Group, it's 4:03 in the morning for you? I am sorry.
Tim Burton.
Yeah,
playing
that is
cards.
graveyard shift.
I think he said he's working
Hi, Sky.
graveyard.
Are you gonna scream? Yeah.
Wow. But yeah, so... I hope you guys at least enjoyed it.
I had fun.
Oh, it was a lot of fun.
I
That was a cool, like, I don't know, like run through a weird, spooky kind of short story.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it.
I mean, it's got the, I don't know, almost a Brothers Grimm.
It was fun playing the type of kid that I wasn't.
So what's funny is that the water elemental thing was, I sort of used it there to kind of pressure you guys to go in, kind of all at the same time, rather than one at a time and try to analyze it. It was meant to pressure you guys. And if you guys had actually wandered around the house and kind of like done other things, they would have started popping up. But they weren't the focus of it. So I had some fun writing it. If I had more time, I would have probably put a little bit more work into it, but kind of last minute. Hey,
if you would have put more work into it, we would have been here for about another half hour.
Would have killed Katie.
Katie would have laid down and died.
Yeah.
Well, then again, we never killed Katie anyway.
Yeah. But I know that she can at least sort of survive this late, and that's good.
That's good enough.
But yeah, so I know there's not too many people viewing still. Room group, I know you're here, and Andrew, you're here.
The dog's here?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I watched it.
Rose is here too.
Yeah.
I guess it just, the viewer count is
I'm
dumb.
gonna, break the rules then.
I've got this guy.
Well, yeah, we're not playing at this point.
Doing an adventure.
Oh, I can't do an adventure. I don't have my phone with Twitch stuff.
Yeah, can't someone smack cat for me, please?
But there's
That's
a
rude.
cat
You
here
don't
to
smack
pet.
cats.
No, you've got
Look at how
to boot
cute she
the cat.
is.
Though.
Well, I lost my character sheet.
But yeah, does anybody have any questions? I mean, even do you guys have questions for me?
Why are you such a dick?
Yeah, Jake.
Because I'm a dark fantasy author. What the hell do you expect from me?
You didn't say DM correctly.
There's a short story I want you to read tonight after the stream. It's very short.
Okay.
I did not write it. It's in an anthology, and you just reminded me about it. It's about Hell's Baker.
Speaking of that, I do need to get you to read, or want to get you to read something that I wrote.
Awesome.
The Disappointment Cat.
Yeah. Max, do you have any questions?
No, not so much questions. It was a lot of fun. I'm like still thinking about the story and that character.
Okay.
What is it called? Hepfade?
Yeah.
Yeah, I sent you a link on Discord in the group
Yep.
chat.
Yeah, I was looking at it briefly, but I don't want to
Yeah, no,
focus on it yet.
that's fine.
Wow, 3 people died in that adventure.
I might steal it.
I'm the
Absolutely.
only one that woke up.
Good job.
I'm either gonna
Sandy.
steal it like how you created it, or I'm gonna try and relate it to some other things. I'm not sure yet. But
so-
either way, I'm gonna steal it.
So I might, let me see if I have it in my notes. I think I statted one of these at some point.
I would love to have that.
I am never playing one of your games again.
Also, did you I know that you said that you were excited to be a player for Jake's campaign. What did you think of the style? As being a player instead of a viewer?
So you mean pertaining to just in general?
Yeah.
You broke up a little bit, so I'm kind of
Yeah, I know that a few weeks ago you said you were excited to get to play with Jake and that you wanted to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, like I said before, though, his style, it's rulesy, but then story. So it's a good mix of kind of both.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the way I had you guys even set up your characters for this was, don't worry about the rules, I'll explain it later, you don't have a class.
Come up with a name and a basic
Right.
backstory for your kid. Don't expect
So
them to live.
I'm excited to play an adult campaign with Jake, because I want to kind of see more on how he kind of develops things.
So, by the way, Max, the character that we had originally discussed, I still have everything set up in this campaign about
Oh, cool.
for your character, so everything is still there.
Yeah, I still have all that stuff saved too, so.
Yeah.
I have to rename him, obviously, but
I thought it would
name's
just
kinda
be.
dumb.
I thought it would be easier, and also. But yeah, we'll talk some more when Masks of the Dead is getting closer to an end.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I'd like to get that wrapped up. Rose got us all killed.
I'm the only one that lived out of that adventure.
Yeah, that's
3 people died.
Oh, so I have not updated the website on Tales from the Tavern. That is mainly because I'm migrating the website to a new host. So a lot of the work that I'm doing, if I did it on that website, would just be for naught. So...
Well, I'm excited about things, so
I'm glad.
I like the way you do things.
I do prefer that the story takes precedence over the rules. Even if a rule isn't consistent between 2 sessions.
the rule of cool.
Yeah, that's how I've started playing games, or playing tabletop games dedicated, was we played Scion First Edition, and you got additional dice to roll for your ability if you did it in a cool way. And I like that more. It encourages storytelling.
Creativity.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
for example, in the rule set, if I had a bow, and even if I was standing right next to someone that was prone, I wouldn't get disadvantage because they're prone, so that balances out. I'd just get a normal dice roll for shooting them.
Yeah.
Like that. But if I was to describe it like execution style with a bow, you might be a bit more lenient on that.
It
might be depending on circumstance. If it's like a
yeah.
boss fight, then it's like...
Yeah, that's...
But then again, if I've got the opportunity to execute a boss with a bow, I mean...
It really depends on the situation, because there's some bosses that may not do shit.
Yeah.
For.
But you know what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
You wouldn't just be like, straight, the rules say this, therefore.
I mean, hell, I cheat in the background so often. If you guys actually saw, like, the health stats for things, it's like, okay, ooh, this fight's going really bad. Let's give it some more health. Or, ooh, that was a really cool kill. If I went by what I wrote down, it wouldn't be a cool kill.
Or, oh, I fucked up with this crystal golem.
Oh, it's resistant to all magic.
It's
and
resistant to this party.
It's an entirely magic party.
But that's the thing, is that if you guys notice something about a creature, I'm not going to change that on you. Because that's just taking it too far. It's like, oh, you guys notice it's immune to force damage. It's not suddenly going to start taking damage to force after that.
It's just like, time to run.
Be less forceful, more gentle.
But
It's
this
not
is
only
the-
into gentle damage.
But that's the thing, is that was a very story-driven fight, and Cat pretty much fell on its ass.
She jumped onto a wheelie chair and the wheelie chair moved under her weight
And she just kind of rolled.
and then fell.
But yeah,
She's okay.
we also might need to get... Or no, we do have other chairs and stuff, so...
Yeah, we've got other chairs.
Well, that's the thing with one-shots, too, though. Like, when I play a character... I mean, you guys all play with me.
Blue Thing.
When I play Blue Thing. Jake, you've been there before, but, like... I like to really figure out what my character's thinking or doing.
Oh, yeah.
So...
I love that.
Yeah, and that relates really well to a DM who wants to tell a story. In a one-shot, it's a little bit harder, because like with this kid I just played, it's hard to really know like what he's thinking or what he's going to do, other than just like a typical kid response.
We are done playing already, Andrew. But yeah, no, I totally get that. I try not to run one-shots as much. However, I am trying to run my campaign shorter, but more episodical almost. So...
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like, Masks of the Dead is a shorter campaign. Hell, they've technically already solved half the mystery of what they initially went out to do. There's just some more setup and some other things that they're trying to learn. It may lead into a bigger campaign, but that's not going to be the sole focus.
Now, we've been delaying a little bit because of reasons.
Like table construction and
Or I was meaning like in terms of in the campaign itself, we've been delaying.
You guys have been having fun. You've been spending some downtime. And
Yeah,
yes,
I sold my character's body for 700 gold pieces, whereas helping the entire town grow crops is like 100 gold. It's like,
hey,
fuck it.
in future, Mike needs to be a bit closer to Jake. Okay, that's good to know. Or, we get a new mic set up because it's getting very close to Cyber Monday. Cyber Monday, I'm probably going to be dropping several $1,000.
All right, Mr. Moneybags.
Weird. I actually hear Jake better than anybody.
Well, Nind is the center of the table. So
Oh, Max, the reason you hear me better than anyone is because over Discord, I am actually in the call. And my laptop's right in front of me. For people watching the stream, the microphone's in the middle of the table, and there's a screen and another camera in the way.
In short, Jake's a massive nerd. But also, I just thought a way to describe the way we're doing this is more TV episodes rather than movies for the campaigns.
yeah, it's more like seasons.
Yeah, that was actually the inspiration for them I got, because in one of my first homebrewed campaign, it was about a year and a half, I think, long campaign, and it was just the same story.
Yeah, we don't know anything about that.
And what the feedback I got from my players was that they felt like they weren't making a lot of progress. That in order for me to have recurring bad guys, for me to have it was kind of like this arms race almost. I had to have the bad guys win, or the story would just be over. But there was certain plot points I wanted to get to, and really they felt like they weren't accomplishing much, or that the bad guys were winning too often, which for a campaign that goes on for a year and a half, that kind of wears on you. And so going with the whole kind of like a TV show, watching things like The Flash TV show, yeah, there's a villain that's during that season, and it gets resolved at the end of the season. But that's not to say that the story of The Flash is over.
And then I think I've seen in some things they'll have, in one season they've got an enemy, in the second season they've got an enemy, and in the third season it's like, oh look, both of these guys were working for this guy.
Yeah.
Hi, it's all linked together. Huh, didn't see that coming, did you? Oh wait, never mind, you did because you're one of those predicting assholes. Never mind.
But the other thing is that, like, me keeping more secrets from you guys for those things, to where it kind of forcing you to go into other story points to proceed to other information. So, you're in this town. Well, the town's in martial law because something crazy is going on, and it's not going to get out until it's fixed.
The last time we were inside a town with martial law, I just simply opened the gates, or my country declares war on yours, and they opened the gates. It was great.
Well, that's kind of hard in my world because there's
I know.
only one country.
I know. But let's just suffice to say that the DM who was for that game wasn't entirely expecting that to happen. And he was like, okay, so I don't want to actually let you guys out of the city, but in character sense, that makes full logic, and I can't deny you it.
Yeah.
So we were let out of the city, but he didn't want us to go.
I have become very careful in my campaign planning that I set up scenes. And I let you guys go on.
Mm-hmm.
I'll write up what characters' motivations are, but I try not to plan in advance what the outcome's going to be. I mean, hell, Max, you already revealed one of the big bads kind of early for me.
Wait, what?
When you did the random encounter thing for us. And,
Oh, yeah,
And they
the-
encountered Sig.
Sieg Franz.
That was not originally planned.
Sieg Franz, friend of Hans.
It was gonna
Best friend of Hound.
It was
Oh,
going to
friend
take
of
them a
Hans.
while to actually encounter Sig. Funny enough, actually, you would have encountered him in the Necromancer's lair.
Oh,
Not anymore. Means we don't have to fight him down there, at least.
You're welcome.
Means they might know that something's up ahead of time, though, if he's not there, if he's supposed to be.
I mean, they could also start to already know that he's a prisoner and being sent to the front lines, and oh, he's fucked.
God, I loved your reaction to the anti-magic.
Like, she was just like,
What, I mean, nope.
Hey, don't touch me.
Funny enough, the novel that I'm writing for NaNoWriMo is actually based in this world, and one of the characters that I'm writing for is a paladin of sumo, and it's
Anna?
yeah,
Stasa?
no, shut the fuck up.
Does she have a sniper rifle?
You wouldn't mind running an intrigue campaign eventually. Andrew, we still gotta get you DMing on here.
Yeah.
I brought that up to him already.
What happened to, what was it called? What was that campaign going to be called that he was going to run?
Happy hour?
Happy Hour. For some reason I was like, wait, 2 H's. Here is Haven. Wait, that's a different one.
I do that all the time.
The
Yeah.
original Happy Hour was where Creek came up.
I can't believe Creek is still in Gareth's world.
Am I incredibly...
With the crazy furball.
Why would he not be? He's undead. He's not dying anytime soon.
Yes,
again.
but why is he the crazy furball cleric like Houseman? Like,
Well-
yes, the crazy furball cleric does have skeletons in his closet. It's called Creek.
Isn't CFC dead now, though?
Maybe?
Yeah,
Yes.
CFC
Yes, he's dead.
Yeah. He
CFC's
said he was dead.
He's dead.
because he was
Because that was 200 years ago.
yeah, he was old when you guys met him.
Yep. Ninja's going to outlive everyone in the party unless they keep getting reborn.
Good thing lost a friend when he died.
Yep.
And a good supply of herbs.
No, but
Oh yeah.
I think I did hear one of the things Andrew was doing related to CFC.
Selling mushrooms.
I'm not gonna reveal that bit. I'm not saying that out loud anyway, because it's on recording. But yeah, so no, it's interesting. But Creek actually exists in my world too.
In Rivertan.
No.
No?
No, there's actually a very... He actually plays a very specific role.
Why do I feel like Rivertan's kind of like Australia? It's just where the creators of this world were like, okay, bag of fucked up shit, here you go.
I mean, a random portal to the Shadowfell manifested in an abandoned home that let loose a child-eating monster.
Wait,
Bag of
isn't that
fucked
the
up
plot of
shit.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
I don't know, I've never seen it.
Neither
Well,
have
the
I.
city that it takes place on is located on the Hellmouth, and that's where all the demons and vampires and shit come up from.
Oh, did Andrew tell you about Creek's existence in his world?
I know that he exists, but I
Don't know anything else about that.
know that he is related to CFC in
From-
some way.
From what Andrew has told me, it's great, and I don't know if he wants me to reveal it.
Probably, maybe not.
I don't know.
That was supposed to be a probably not. With a probably maybe not. Not a probably.
If he says yes, I will absolutely talk about it because it's hilarious.
Speaking of creak, my chair is kind of creaky.
Mine isn't.
I don't know why mine is.
No. Yeah, no, there's a few characters, like, actually, there's a few characters that, Bailey, you wouldn't, that I've told you about, that you guys might encounter in your campaign.
Ni hao?
Okay.
Not really, because underwater.
Well, we already know that, M's in my world.
Crives
Which
in your
means
world.
that Meow's in his world, but not known by anybody.
Also
really.
means that Crives in his world.
I think I know where Ni Hao is, because he's the
Underwater.
eventee, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I know exactly where he is.
It's called underwater. The ocean, specifically, in terms of what type of water.
Creek can only be found with a DC 32 perception check on the right area.
By the way, 31 is considered impossible on this scale, or nearly No, 30 is considered nearly impossible.
Oh my god, he's just on an island alone, isn't he?
Just like one of those little shards of land that just splintered off by itself, and he's just sitting there playing a bone flute.
No, he plays a violin.
Yeah. His instrument's a violin. God, when you guys encounter Creek in my world, it's gonna be great.
It's just me like, skeleton, where?
He's not quite that bad. He's
I-
very well aware of the situation in my world.
I feel like if he unexpectedly spoke within arm's reach of Myth, she'd punch his head off.
What's funny is that
Oh, he is?
yeah, he's on an island and he's just playing his violin and it just echoes throughout the area.
Oh, that's right. So people never go to investigate. I think he's told us this bit before.
Yeah, people think the place is haunted and that's the whole to actually locate where he's at. That's the 32 perception check. Which now I'm gonna try to build a character
Or blind
specifically
luck.
to find him.
Or blind luck. You cannot discount blind luck.
I'm going to search this entire area.
Yep.
Um,
Blind luck and dedication. Or a fleet of ships.
Paladins? Blind luck and dedication?
Who doesn't love the undead?
Why do I have a feeling?
Paladins?
Why do I have a feeling?
That's it. We'll just tell the big bad in Gareth's current campaign for Long Road Secondary that there's a skeleton of untold age floating around on a solitary rock
Why do I have
somewhere,
a
and
feeling
he'll
that
go find
Teak
them
would
for
be
us.
a paladin if they grew up?
Who? Teak.
I figured Teak would be in the paladin barbarian fighter
I
bracket.
kind of figured that.
Bath path.
I'm kind of sad that Tookie is dead.
I'm sad about Tuki.
But the roll of
He
the
was-
die.
So,
He was taken to
Tookie is actually the kid version of a character concept I have for a... I shared this in Discord once. An artifact plundering wizard.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so this character was like the kid version of that character.
You can tell where we got the plundering aspect from.
Yeah, it's... What's funny is that technically Myth and Faerun may have already passed by something related to Creek.
You mean the necropolis?
No. Very funny, but no.
Is it called landmass?
Oh, and actually, technically, so would Max's character, but you guys don't know much about Max's character.
We know it's Max's character, that's about it.
And that he's a human.
Human.
No. he's
No,
not.
he changed his mind.
Ooh.
What are you now?
Dead.
Dragonborn.
Okay.
Last we
Pull it up.
last we spoke.
So, does a dragonborn become
Yes,
dragon
he is
dead when killed by a
dragonborn.
dragon?
Huh?
Is a dragonborn dragon dead when they're killed by a dragon?
Dragon.
There he is.
It took you a bit to figure that one out there. Okay, how are you doing it? Through the air up the nose? Oh.
Okay. Okay.
You're not going to hear a hollow sound.
I did though.
Okay. Time to turn off the stream. I need it joking. What?
I mean,
Yeah.
do you need to turn off the stream so you don't hear me say holler daddy? Just to see the look on both of your faces. Max is sitting there looking like he's suffering as well.
But yeah.
What?
If
I
there,
actually don't know what you said.
Good.
by the way,
He heard
speaking of dad jokes and horrible puns, I watched the first episode of our Dream Daddy
How is it?
playthrough. Oh my god.
Terrible?
No, I actually managed to sit through the whole thing, and by the end I was like, oh wow, I actually kind of want to watch more, but...
You know what? We already played through it all. Yeah.
now I want a cheese board. God damn it.
Yes.
What a weird game.
Dream Daddy?
Yeah.
I kind of love it.
See, now all I can
not
think of is
for
that
me.
Max is kind of like Brian.
Max is not like Brian.
I mean, just looking at him like that. I can-
That's not like Brian, he
I
just
can-
has a beard.
Yeah, that's
You saying
all
I'm like
there
Brian
is.
too?
No, you've got glasses on.
I wear contacts too, fucker. Yeah.
What?
Thank you for the input, Darnum.
What?
Darnum the gay dwarf said Dream Daddy has too many twinks.
So it has too many effeminate gay men for him.
Oh, I actually didn't know that phrase before.
I had no clue what the fuck a twink was.
That's probably why I didn't respond.
It's like a pseudo slur, but like if you're in the LGBT community, you use it a lot.
I mean, considering his username is Darnum the gay dwarf.
Uh-huh.
Is he Torbjorn?
Well, we did date Brian in our playthrough of Dream Daddy on our YouTube channel. The first episode came out today.
No, it was yesterday. Today was fire. Yeah, no, actually, Brian was the one that we went to, or that Andrew went for.
I still like Coffee Dad.
Oh,
Matt. Matt.
Oh, Matt.
No, Max
What?
is there.
Keep hearing my name.
You're a Dream Daddy now.
Oh God.
That's what happens when you get socks thrown at you by your kid all the time.
It was the reverse for my dad and I.
I'm actually surprised we haven't seen his kid come in and throw dirty socks at him yet.
But yeah, our Dream Daddy playthrough is actually, on occasion, I've said to Andrew, in a very deep voice, "Okay, Dad." And that's where that comes from. Because, while I had bronchitis, apparently I chose the first voice that wasn't the dad, and that was the daughter.
Yep.
So, really, like, the most, like, deep voice for a teenage girl.
Dad.
If you want to know more about
Hey,
Andrew
Dad.
as a person, though, watch Dream Daddy, because apparently that dad is exactly him.
He felt so attacked.
It was terrifying.
It was amazing.
Like, I think there were several points in our playthroughs, most of the episodes that haven't come out yet, where Andrew would say something.
And then it would come up as the line that was said.
Yeah. There were a few cases where, like, he got it almost word for word, and it was terrifying.
It's like, it's got speech to text.
But yeah, so,
Woof.
yeah, it's now 12:30 for us, and normally we play a bit later, but, oh, right, Robert.
Robert?
The one that's like probably a werewolf.
Oh, yeah, the one that's like straight out, you coming into my house?
Mm-hmm.
Also, don't trust that hoe.
So are we doing this or what?
It's like, don't trust that
What?
hoe. So it just walks up, don't trust that hoe, she's a hoe. You want to come into my house?
At
yeah.
least he's upfront about it.
Don't trust that hoe, trust this hoe.
Look, I'm not somebody to kiss and tell. We doing this?
But yeah, I think at this point we're probably trying to get our schedule to be closer to the 9 to midnight, just because we're getting Katie and she has the exact opposite problem I do.
Mm-hmm.
She gets tired very quickly, where I don't get tired until, like, it's morning.
Yeah.
So,
We
we're
need
trying
to
to
give
restrain
her
that.
caffeine.
But it being about 12:30, I think we've gone on a bit without doing actual D&D stuff, so
Yeah,
I think we're gonna call it here for the night.
Oh, Max.
Oh my god, Max, you're getting hit on by a gay dwarf.
I love this.
Well, okay.
But
Thank
yeah,
you.
Max, thank you for joining us for this. I can't wait for you to join us after Masks of the Dead. But yeah, thank you everyone who showed up and watched. I still have a lot of our videos that I need to actually make public for people to watch.
Yeah, we're working on catching up now that we've got our situation more set up again.
Yes, indeed. So,
And we'll be in a new recording room
Thanks for having me.
eventually.
oh yeah. But yeah, again, thank you everyone for showing up for the stream, and we will see you all next week.
Bye. Bye, Jay.
Oh shit, hold on.
Bye.
OBS,